Hello and welcome to episode 104 of Gamers of the Lost Spark podcast. I'm your host, Antony Chesson, and joining me this week, it's the other Spark on the pod, a man still clinging to that VR dream of wearing VR PJs and living in the Oasis. It's Mr. Darren Whittam.
Hello. Yeah.
Hello, sir. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, I'm living the dream, clinging to the dream of making VR a reality, making the virtual a reality as it slips from my grasp of excitement. No, not really. It's good.
The VR dream is just a fading blip on the landscape.
Grabbing it as mist. Dust in the wind, dude. Dust in the wind. Yeah, I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad at all. How's your week been?
It's not been too bad. I've got a couple of stories for you.
Okay.
I hope you haven't heard any of them before.
I like a good story.
You do. A nice anecdote to settle you in.
Yes.
First one you'll appreciate. It's a pizza story.
Oh, okay. Hit me.
I'm going to hit you with it. So, where shall I start? Right, the other day, I had a few people round. About seven people, 7 hungry mouths to feed pizza to. So, everything was going fine. I was making them a pizza. And the thing is with the uni oven, you've got to make them one at a time because you can only fit one pizza in the oven at a time.
Right.
So, I'm sort of running back and forth from the uni to the kitchen, cooking the pizzas for everyone. And that's fine. It doesn't take too long because it only takes a minute to cook each one. It's cool. It's just, you just got to be on top of it. You've got to be on top of it. You've got to make sure that the flame in the uni is roaring. You've got to make sure that the pizzas are turned after 20 seconds so that they don't burn. And then I run in, put them down on the side for Claire, my lovely assistant, to chop up into nice slices for whoever it is pizza it is, and then I get onto the next one. Loosen it from the surface that it's on, flour it, put it on the peel, and then start to dress it with tomato sauce and cheese and toppings, etc. Then I'm running out.
So pretty much, this is a bit like Overcooked. Really, you are kind of reenacting in real life Overcooked. Basically.
It totally is. Wow. Yeah, I never made that connection before, but it's really like real life Overcooked, man. I think I'm gonna have to film it, get the soundtrack to Overcooked, and get me legging it, because it really is. Timing's critical, and I'm running about 6 meters from the kitchen surface that's inside, because I need an outside table, really, and I haven't got one.
Yes.
So I'm inside doing all my stuff with my bases, getting them ready, and then I put it on the peel, and then I'm shake it, and just make sure that it's loose, it's not going to stick to the peel, and then it's like sort of like do that sort of adult joggy run thing out of the door, making sure not to trip on any toys or anything and go flying. Get the door off, whoosh, put it in. Time it 20 seconds out, turn, 20 seconds out, turn, and 20 seconds out, turn. Check it's done, then take it out, fill the hopper, make sure the fire's roaring, and then run in with the pizza, deliver it to Claire. And then she's like chopping it, and on it goes. So it is like Overcooked. It's a precision thing.
Yeah, sounds awesome. So at this point, when you're cooking, when you have 7 people around, is everyone kind of standing around? Are you showboating? Is everyone kind of like hanging on your every turn? Are you twiddling the pail above your head and like a baton?
No, not really. Everyone's just sort of, chatting among themselves. Maybe
everyone's just ignoring the hubbub that's happening behind them.
It's a personal hubbub. No one else is interested. Maybe if I got a big chef's hat or something.
Yes,
or
like Overcooked.
Yeah, or I could add some rats to the area, and they could be like scurrying in and rushing off with bits of toppings, or like dragging bases away off the kitchen surface. But no. I mean, they've got a bit of interest, but I don't think I've had enough people yet to really do that. I don't know, really. Anyway, so everyone had a pizza, and that was great. So I did them one at a time, and then it came to my pizza, and I'm like, and it's kind of a relief then. And I had cheese and tomato with anchovy, just nice and simple. And I cooked mine, and it was perfect, because on mine, I'm always thinking, don't mess up your own after everybody else. Well, for everybody's, I'm thinking, don't mess it up, because you don't want to mess somebody's food up.
No.
But on mine, I just thought it'd be an absolute joke if I burn mine to a cinder. After everybody's had the pizza. And anyway, it came out and it was perfect. I was really happy with it. I was even confident enough, I just gave it an extra 5 seconds just to get a little bit more of that leopard in on the top of the cheese. And it came out and I was like, damn, because I thought I'd been too cocky there. I was like, as that 5 seconds counted, I thought, oh no, have I just burned my pizza? But it came out and it's fine. So I was happy. And I went and joined the gathering, and I was like, oh, man, how was your pizza? Everyone was like, really nice. People were saying, oh, this is amazing. I think I'm going to have to buy an uni because, I'll never have to go to an Italian restaurant again and all the rest of it. And I was like, yeah, that's really cool. And I had a bite of mine, and I just had that moment, and I was like, oh, man. And I've had quite a lot of pizza, too much, really, over the last since I get in this uni, but every time, that it hasn't faded. That when I take that bite, it's like, my goodness me, this tastes amazing. I could not do this without this oven. And I was like, oh wow, that's amazing. And then Claire cried out in alarm because a wasp had been buzzing round her, and I was like,
right.
Oh. She's like, the wasp. And I was kind of like, oh, it'll go away, and tried shooing it and stuff, but it was persistent. And then it crossed the line when it landed on her plate.
Right.
Next to the pizza. It didn't land on a pizza, but it landed on a plate where a piece of pizza had been prior to her eating it. And that annoyed me then. I thought, this wasp's got to go. I need to do something about it. I said, don't worry, babe. In front of the audience, I said, I'll sort this out. I'm the host. I'll sort this out.
Yeah, you manned up. Your man will sort this for you.
Yeah, I was petrified inside. I didn't want to get stung. But, on the outside, I was brave. So I went inside and I got the fly spray, the wasp spray, whatever. Came outside. It's like, right, where is it? Show me the wasp and I'll sort it out. It's like, I don't know where. Maybe it's gone. Then all of a sudden, sort of did a lap round Claire's head and then started attacking me. And I was like, you annoying thing. Anyway, so then I just went into target mode.
Yes.
So focused in, targeted on it, reticule active. The reticule went red instead of blue. Had my fly spray in one hand, I had my pizza in the other hand on my plate, and I just went, and the wasp sort of flew over my pizza, and I followed it and spraying, I'm going to get you, wasp, and liberally sprayed my pizza as well as the wasp.
You gave your pizza a good dousing of fly spray.
I gave it a great dousing of fly spray, and I don't even know if I got the wasp.
The wasp flew away with a bit of pizza.
Yeah, the wasp just laughed and flew away, and I just turned around to everybody who had looks of, I think, half and half amusement and pity.
Yes.
As my face went from sort of wasp targeter to realisation of disappointment that I can't eat my pizza. And I just kind of did a massive annoyed face combined with a shrug and walked to the bin and deposited my entire pizza minus 2 bites into the bin. And I just went, I can't have it. No. And I had no more dough because I'd only got enough. Mine was the last piece of dough. And then Claire
so you didn't even have any spares? You didn't have some spares?
Didn't have any spare.
Didn't have any spare.
Didn't have any contingency.
Right.
Which is not right. Claire said, do you want a piece of mine? I said, no, I don't want your pizza. I want my pizza. I don't want anyone else's pizza. I want my pizza. It's okay. I said, it's all right. I just want my own pizza. I can't have my own pizza, so I'm okay. I'll just wait till dinner time. That was it. It was a nightmare. Crikey.
Holy moly. So what else? What other toppings were? Well, what other pizzas were you making for your 7 guests? Did anyone come with any requests? Did anyone
No, not really. They're all quite easily pleased, and they're all just happy with simple at the moment. The 7th guest, I remember that on CDI. Just as an aside, getting back to video games slightly. They were all really content. Everyone else had ham and cheese, just ham. Just ham on a cheese and tomato pizza, and I just had anchovies. So I've not got to the experimental phase yet. Well, have you got any suggestions?
Well, I was going to say, did you see over the weekend, James tweeted a delicious looking pizza from his pizza oven. Now, what he's put on it, bear with me, right? So he has put, so I've found it, he's at Big Sheep on Twitter. I found it on Twitter. It is barbecue sauce.
What?
Barbecue sauce, not
this
tomato.
Is madness.
Just stay with it. Barbecue sauce, mozzarella, pepperoni, meatballs, and your favourite anchovies. Now this thing looks delicious. It looks. I'm mouth watering now. I think I'm dribbling on my mic. It looks absolutely superb. But it looks really. Honestly, it looks really good. It looks probably smoky. It's probably smoky, with the meatballs and stuff. It's very lovely.
Oh, you paint a good picture. You had my mouth watering too till you mentioned dribbling on your mic, and then my appetite sort of disappeared. That sounds really good. I haven't tried. I've never tried a barbecue sauce pizza. You see them, don't you? Domino's do them. Pizza
do they?
Do them. Yeah. I've seen them mentioned. I've heard tell of this, but I've never done it. I certainly would never risk 20 quid on one that I might not like. But at home, you can experiment. That does sound nice though. That combination.
It really does. That anchovies, then the pepperoni and the meatballs. It just maybe put some red onion on there. I'm sorted.
Well, I didn't see it, but if he's full of these sort of these wild fancies, it's probably not a wild fancy at all. It's probably quite normal. It does sound good. I think he should kickstart his own pizza recipe book. There you go.
You should have like a WhatsApp group or something like that where you all share pizza ideas. I saw that other people, Manny, friend of the show, Manny, he was also kind of making some pizzas as well, But yeah, no, I really liked that look at James's one. That was very yummy indeed. So that's the pizza. What was the second story?
Oh yeah, second tale. We got a cat.
You got a cat?
Yeah, we got a little cat.
I shouldn't be surprised. I've just been seeing him on Skype just before the. I can't act. You have a cat, sir?
A cat? Yeah, we got a little cat. You've met him now. We've got a black rescue cat. Only about, well, what day will it have been? Sunday? I don't know. About 3 days ago.
Right.
Or maybe it wasn't long ago at all. Anyway, and we've got a rescue cat. He's about between 5 and 6 months. Mm-hmm. He's sort of jet black, but in the sun, you can see a slight, really dark brown coloration. He's sort of stripy, but you can only see that if you get really close. Somebody told me he's like a black tabby or something.
Right.
But when you just look at him normal, he's just completely black.
Yes.
His nose is black, his pads are black, everything's black. So yeah, we had to think of a name. I remember I asked you for some hints.
Yes.
Unfortunately, no video game name seemed to suit him, so we had to cast aside the likes of Sora, Sephiroth, KK Slider, Cloud, Drake,
Morgana.
Yeah, it was like Morgana, and it was kind of like
Morgana. Yeah,
yeah, but it just didn't fit, man. And they all have a code name as well in Persona 5. It's like, what's Morgana's code name? I can't remember, so I looked it up. It's like Mona. I was like, nah, that's why I couldn't remember, because it just wasn't a very nice name. It's like, I don't want Mona. So we just had to go with Mr. Whiskerson Barrington Smythe.
Awesome.
No, we didn't really. His name's Puzzle.
It's a great name. I love Puzzle.
I love Puzzle.
And that's a bit of theme as well. It's a puzzle. It's a puzzle game. That's really cool. He's such an adorable little cat. He looked very much at home in that picture you sent me on Sunday.
Yeah, we got home and it was as if we'd had him for years. He's just settled down. He's really nice. He's dead placid. He's dead friendly for Sam, obviously. That's a factor. Sam thought the name Puzzle up. I quite liked Car Wash from a really old cartoon when I was little called Willow the Wisp. And there's a cat called Car Wash who was really thin and gangly. He looks just like him because this cat is really thin and gangly. The lady said it's as if he's like in his teenage years, where he's just stretched out. He's all sort of limbs, but he hasn't fattened up yet. But he's great. He's ever so long. He's got a really long tail. And he's good. But the only bad thing is like, Sam lies in till about 6:30, 7 o'clock these days, but now I'm getting woken up even earlier by the cat purring in my ear.
Right.
It's a nice way to wake up, though.
He wants to go out. So how old is Puzzle? Do you know? How old he is?
He's between 5 and 6 months, so he's got it. He's not had any of his stuff yet. So he's not allowed out until he's had his injections and stuff, and then we've got to keep him in for 3 months to recover from that, and then he's just a normal puss by then, and we can let him out and stuff. So
nice. So
yeah, he's dead nice. He's dead friendly. He's really lovely. He's a lovely cat. I might tweet a picture. I'll get on Twitter and tweet a picture of him because he's lovely. He's a really nice cat. So we're happy with a pet.
Yes. So has he like got up to the screen yet and started touching the screen if like you've got games playing? Is he trying to knock your roguelike whenever you're playing it?
I was practicing my piano, and so was Sam yesterday and today, and he gets up on the piano, he's walking along, ding ding ding, playing the keys.
Superb.
Like, yeah, thanks a lot, but get down and please don't scratch the ebony, because crikey, I've had it for years and never scratched it. Please don't scratch it, cat. And what was I doing earlier? I was doing some of the podcast preparation on my laptop, and I was cross-legged on the floor, and he just marched straight over.
Nice.
Straight over. I remember years and years and years ago, a cat I had years ago. It was in the era of the PlayStation 1, and I was playing Final Fantasy 8, and I was on the end boss, and he walked over the top of the console, and do you remember the power and the reset button on the top?
Oh, yes. Yeah, the eject button.
And he put his paw on the power and turned it off.
Awesome. He's like, I would like to be played now. You're no longer playing this.
Yeah, I've been fighting that boss for about an hour. He's like, no!
So you said you had a cat. Did after that incident you no longer had a cat?
Yeah, someone bought a PlayStation with just a tail coming out of one side of the disc tray. No, we had him for a while, but he got old and stuff. So yeah, no, he's just really good. These days, with the way that our consoles are, he can't get to them, they're all out of the way.
Yes,
which is,
indeed.
well, he can get to him if he jumps about. I'm sort of on tenterhooks a little bit about getting home one day and seeing claw marks down my telly. But
cats can't really lay on top of TVs anymore, can they? Because before, I remember when I was young, we had a couple of cats, and the cat used to love just laying on top of the TV, with one paw down, casually, lazily kind of hitting the football that was on Match of the Day or whatever, but you can't do that now because the TVs are so wafer thin. There's no way they will be able to rest there comfortably anymore.
I just hope that say what would have been, say, 25, 30 years of cats lying on TVs hasn't sort of been made a genetic evolution into them, hasn't caused them to genetically want to get on top. Yeah, and they've got this thing in the DNA, and he's just sat there jumping up, and then he goes, and then just claws the front of the telly. That's my probably worst nightmare. Yeah. So it's good. Got a cat, and it's nice. So
wonderful.
It's been an exciting week with pizzas and cats. What about you? What have you been up to, mate?
Not much, really. Kind of in contrast to yours, mine has been incredibly boring. I went to IKEA on Saturday because I hate myself. And
follow the path, the one-way path through it all.
Yes, indeed, got lost. That's just like a game on its own. But I was talking about it last week and kind of waxing lyrical, but we finished The Defenders. So we finished The Defenders, which was absolutely superb. I really enjoyed it. It was, as I was saying last week, it's an 8-episode run. So it was over, too soon. I could have done with more episodes because I was really enjoying the dynamic of all 4 characters. But that was really cool. So that was absolutely fantastic. We now wait for The Punisher's next, followed by, I think they've been tweeting some pictures of Luke Cage Season 2 as well, with quite a big spoiler for the final episode of The Defenders as well. But it looks, so there's lots more coming. I think we've got more Jessica Jones as well coming, so it's very cool. So yeah, so there was that, and then Monday morning, because it's bank holiday here in the UK, and then Monday morning I woke up about 6 o'clock and sat and watched the epicness that was the final episode of Game of Thrones. No spoilers, but final episode of Game of Thrones Season 7. And oh my god, that was so good. It's been on my mind. So I watched it on Monday in the morning, and it's been on my mind ever since to watch it again, to kind of maybe after the pod, or there's a few things I've got that I really want to watch, like Death Note. There's a brand new version of Death Note that's just hit Netflix. There's some few things that I want to see.
Is that a manga?
No, it's a live action.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, live action. And also, I've downloaded Batman and the Harley Quinn, which is an animated movie as well. And I've downloaded that. And I've got a couple of things in my backlog. But the last episode of Game of Thrones has been really kind of playing on my mind. And I really want to watch it again. So I think I'm just going to... But I want to watch... Because I was watching it in the morning, sitting there, cup of coffee, a bowl of Alpen, rock and roll. and I really just don't think it did it justice, and it kind of does my head in that I'm on my smaller TV, but it doesn't do it justice. I think, do you know what, I want to watch it in the darkness, headphones on, and I really want to just sit there and enjoy it. But it was very good, and I really, I did say I would report back and say to you kind of how awesome the cliffhanger or how awesome everything was. Yeah. And and as I said to you over messaging, I think I strongly urge you and Claire to kind of watch this season, because it's epic, and by all accounts, I've been reading kind of when the next one's coming, and it doesn't look like we're going to get the next season and the final season of Game of Thrones until 2019.
Oh my goodness! So the end, right? Mm-hmm. Does it make you go, no, or does it make you go, oh yes, I can't wait for the next one?
Kind of in the middle of both of those.
Get off the fence.
No, I can't wait for the next one. It's like, no, I'm not just sitting on the fence just because I don't want to sway you, but it really was like, oh my god, and then it was more of an OMG, I can't wait for the next season kind of thing. And the fact that when you read later that they're actually not starting production until October this year, they're starting production on this, and but it's just, I was talking to a friend of mine at work who is a big Game of Thrones fan, and we were having our kind of Tuesday morning chat about it, and we were both just saying, we can't believe that this is TV. It's just so epic and so incredible, and each episode is costs about £10 million to make. But it's just incredible. It's incredible that this is TV, that this is the new benchmark for this. And, what's going to come along to kind of match this? Because all of the other TV shows I watch, they are fantastic, and there's some amazing TV at the moment. And TV is just like in a golden age right now. But nothing meets that spectacle, that visual spectacle of Game of Thrones.
Wow. It's amazing. It's as if TV at one point went through a metamorphosis from being sort of just rather average with the odd highlight to, I think it's fair to say maybe that the US have got it with the trend here, but just to sort of just hitting at a bar that we'd never ever expected before. I mean, there's so many shows. For me, I think it might have started when I first saw 24. It might have been before that, but for me, I think sort of a moment was when I watched 24, and I couldn't believe how good it was, and I just had to watch the next one and had to watch the next one. I ended up being tired for work the next day because it just could not stop. And it just seems to have gone from strength to strength from that, and because of we've now got Netflix and subscription models where they're making the great content, which is getting the subscribers, which is giving them the money to make more great content in this kind of beautiful cycle. It's fantastic. So I could wait, but I think, on your recommendation, I'm going to watch it, man. I'm going to watch it. Because the end of the last one, do you remember the end of the last one? It showed Daenerys.
Yes.
This isn't really a spoiler. On her boat. And you just thought, oh, wow, that excites me. That set it up for the next one, rather than made you go, oh, no, what's going to happen? So that's why I asked, because Claire's saying she doesn't want some massive bad hangover. I mean, cliffhanger, not hangover. Though she probably doesn't want a bad hangover either. So that's why I asked. But it sounds like it sounds great, and it's brilliant for us as well, because as I said before, we've read all the books, and they ended with. Oh my goodness, I can't remember the last book now, but we've been waiting for Winds of Winter for ages, and it's not appearing. And so as we watch the shows, it's just great to watch them, because we're seeing all that stuff. Because we were ahead. Us people that had read the books, we were ahead, weren't we, at the start? It's like, oh yeah, we know what's happening. You all that bit. I can't wait for the...
wait for the Red Wedding.
Yeah, and all that sort of thing. But now it's just... I mean, the last season was really the first one that was really out of the book's canon, really. And I loved it. And it was great, in a way, not to have to make the comparisons to the book that I can't help do all the time. It was like, I've been trying, we've both decided, look, watch it as its own thing, it's different. Stop comparing the characters, stop comparing the storylines that might differ a little bit to the books. Because it gets annoying, you're like, well, I don't think that character looks how they should look. Or, that didn't happen in the book. Now it's gone off past the book, there's no comparison, which is kind of refreshing. And it's and it's just, I thought the last season was amazing. And like you say, the production quality, the production values are just out of this world. Is it the highest budget show, or is there another one?
I don't know. I mean, I think
it's got to be up there, hasn't it? It's got to be up there with them if it's not.
Absolutely, it's got to be close. I mean, it was really interesting because I was looking at some statistics. I was looking at some statistics, and the first episode of the first season had 2.2 million people watched it live on HBO in the US. Season 7, episode 7, had 12.6 million viewers.
Wow!
On that Sunday.
All sat down at the same time.
The viewing figures that they had put up were just viewing. So obviously there's a lot more people that watch it later on. There's people who watch it globally. There's people watch it illegally, but they had in the US at that one time. And the really interesting thing was they had figures for every single episode, and the finale was always had bigger viewing. It's almost like people are making a thing of it. It's like, right, it's the finale of this season. We need to watch it live, because it was always by at least a good 3 million that more people kind of watched throughout all of the seasons. And I just thought that was really interesting. Like, it was like, right, because it's, I mean, if you're in the US, I think it could be, and you're over on the West Coast, I think it might be on about 8 o'clock.
Okay.
So you get a nice time. Yeah, and in the UK it's on 9 o'clock the next day. But yeah, so you could have a nice Sunday. I think John Oliver's on first. I love that program. John Oliver's on first, and after that you get Game of Thrones. And it's just, I just thought that was a perfect Sunday. To kind of, but we have it on Monday, obviously. But it's it was absolutely fantastic, and I just really enjoyed it. Like I say, I do want to kind of take some time this week just to watch it again. I'm
thinking about watching it from the start.
Yes.
Because it does get a bit hazy, after the years. It's like I watch a series and I love every episode, but if you ask me to recount each episode, I could never do that. It's weird. It's amazing and spectacular and engages me completely, but then it goes from my mind. It's as if it's too good to hold in my memory. So I was thinking, watching every one or two a night. I'll keep me going for a month or so.
I was thinking about doing that. Well, I would like to see if they kind of brought it. It's not 4K yet. It's not Ultra HD.
Forget it then.
So yeah, exactly. No Ultra HD, no watchy. But I would love to. I think before the final season, I think I might do that. I think I might sit down and just watch from the very beginning to that. I think James did it. James was kind of late to the Game of Thrones, and he and his good lady wife, they sat and watched that. They were watching like 2 or 3 a night.
Yeah. I mean, that it's a cool thing to do. It's a cool thing to do. So, yeah, I'll either be watching them all, or I'll just I'll watch this season. But maybe I'll watch this season because I'm a bit impatient now. I want to join in with everybody and talk to you about it. And then maybe like you, I could work it out for the final season and start the 70 episodes.
Yes.
Well, it'll be 67 episodes, sorry. Work out 67, divide between 2 and then start a month before or something.
Especially if we have to wait until 2019, we'll start watching that, and they kind of, even if you watched one a week and then just started kind of
start now.
Yeah, exactly. And then you kind of, it's like it never went away.
Wow. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Brilliant.
Superb. So, let's get to games, because that's what we want to talk about. What have you been playing this week, sir?
What have I been playing this week? That is a very good question. I've been playing, well, what should we kick off with?
Nidhogg.
Let's
Saturday night.
I wonder why you're bringing that up.
Because I win.
You always win.
I never win at video games. Have you seen me on Mario Kart, Forza, Halo?
But you just hadn't found your forte.
No, and who knew claymation men and swords was my thing?
That was the description I wanted. Claymation, that's what they look like. Multicoloured claymation figures pounding each other for dear life with various weapons from the medieval times.
Whilst you and player 2 scream down each other's headphones.
And it turns out you're the best at it in the world. Yes. Well, better than me.
It was so cool. We jumped on Saturday night. Well, I think I got a ping from you. It was probably late Saturday night, wasn't it? I just finished watching Guardians of the Galaxy. That was it. We watched Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And we just finished watching that. And I said to you, are you, I think you were online. I said, do you fancy some Nidhogg? I got my PlayStation 4 down. And we kind of had a couple of games. And it was so much fun. What a great game Nidhogg 2 is.
Isn't it fantastic? And like you say, he's just constantly down the mic. Oh, you! Ah, yes! Ah, no! Ah, yes!
And every now and then there were moments of silence because you knew we were both concentrating.
Yeah. After the banter died down a bit and we both concentrating, it's like, right, I'm going to do this. I'm sick of getting slashed or shot. It's just, it's brilliant. I knew it would be fun, and it was. Though it hurt me to get defeated so many times.
But it was just so cool because you did win the last one, didn't you?
I can't remember.
I think it was 3-1 because I love it where you're just getting it and it says final screen and you're almost there and then you just kill me and then you just start running in the opposite direction and then it takes it back a couple of screens and then I've got to try and I think there were a couple of things that I picked up from watching you play. Some of it is like don't chase the other player, just wait because you're going to appear at some point in front of them. And there were some really cool bits and there were some really great levels as well. There were some really good kind of moments where you were slightly camping on a few of them and kept taking me out at the same point, but stupidly, I just kept coming to the same thing. And like if I do it enough times, it's going to be different.
Well, I got camping karma because you wiped the floor with me so much, and Pat basically did wipe the floor with me, just stamped on my face. But the thing I love about it, as you say, you can be taken right. You're there. You've battered me back, and we're on the final screen. And it's kind of, if I don't lose hope, there's still a chance. And the more that there's a good chance, if you have the skill, if you calm yourself down instead of getting too irate, and you just centre yourself, you can. Well, unless the other player is just too good, like you were. But there's always a chance that you can, if you can just knock them down, and you could run all the way to the other end of the arena. And you could take it. There's always that fight that you could take it. And it's just constant, isn't it? Constant battle for supremacy in Nidhogg 2. This is Nidhogg 2. And I just love it. My adrenaline is just going sky high playing that game. Like you say, as the silence descends, you think, oh, they both mean business now.
It kind of went from trash talk to silence, and then all you could hear was me clicking on my controller as I was frantically trying to take you out. But no, it was just absolutely fantastic. I am just so glad, and thanks for kind of getting me in to play that, because it was really cool, because I really liked it, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think anybody that just wants a really funny evening, grab that game, either hook up with your mates online or hook up, he's got local co-op, and it must be a scream with a few craft beers and sitting side by side, even better with more than two, having a tournament match, just pure awesomeness, hyper funny, and maybe a little bit stressful as well.
Yes. I do think, though, as you're saying, beers past the controller, a group of friends, this is hilarious, because the amount of abuse and insults that would be thrown around would just be incredible. It was a great game.
Yeah, it's a fantastic game. It epitomises for me that sort of old school mechanic that I think I said this before, that Joust had.
Yes.
That sort of, it's so simple in the fact that it's just like clobber the other guy and get to the end. And it's got that paper, scissors, stone mechanic as well, where, you could, with practice, I bet you could have some amazing battles, because everything can be countered, everything can be dodged.
Yep.
It's usually impatience that would make you fail. Or mistakenly thinking you can get past the other guys, thinking, I'm not gonna stab him with this sword, I'm gonna throw it at his head. Yes. And it's just like, I'm gonna get you, sword in the head, you're down, he's run off. No. Other guy, yay!
Because when I first started, I thought the moment you get that bow and arrow, it's all over. But then I realised that I could knock it away with my sword, I could jump over it, and it really did take it from, that's the instant kill weapon, to actually he's just as vulnerable with the bow and arrow that he is with everything else.
Yeah,
and it's just so cool. It's such a great game.
It's brilliant. I started to hate the bow and arrow because it took too long to reload and you kept knocking me down. I thought I'd throw the bow at you. That only stunned you. You got back. I thought you were dead. It's like, hooray, but you weren't dead. You got back up and stabbed me. It's like, oh no. Yeah, fantastic. Really good.
I love just seeing you kind of race off like to the left, and then I just throw a bow and arrow and you can just see it just travelling just slowly behind you, and it's catching up with you. And I was just like, and I'm ready to run in the opposite direction when I get my arrow. And it was just
almost so taste cool. The panic of me as I see it, and can I dodge in time? Can I get to the end of the level and get to that next flick screen room?
So Nidhogg 2, still an absolute awesome must-play, I would say.
Yeah, that was awesome. And probably before we get to the big game of the week, I had to go. The Knack 2 demo went live today.
Oh, right. Is that up on the PlayStation Network?
It's up on PlayStation Network for you to download and enjoy. And I think you would enjoy it a little bit as well. It's pretty good. I'm surprised how much I enjoyed it. I thought we're all off at the moment. Claire's off and Sam's off. And I saw that was online, so I was doing some bits and bobs. And while we went out to take Sam swimming, and I kicked off that demo downloading so it was ready when we got back. And we had a go of it. You know something? It's really good. Now, I haven't played Knack yet. I haven't played the first one. I've often been tempted to buy it. And then I've always thought, but that's going to be free next month. So I'm not going to do it. And it never has yet. We'll see what happens. Maybe it's going to be free next month in September.
Nope.
No, okay.
I have the games for PlayStation Network.
Hooray!
In my list.
Oh, fantastic. I didn't notice that you'd got the PS4 ones. I thought you just got the Xbox. So, no. Well, never mind. First thing
maybe October. Maybe
October. That's what I keep saying. But I think NAC 2 might be out by then.
NAC 2 comes out the 6th of September.
Oh, okay. So, interesting. Interesting that they didn't bring it out in August. NAC 1.
Yeah.
Just to, get a bit of volume, get a bit of momentum. But anyway, the first thing I noticed about it when I started the game was the options. There's loads of options that you could mess about with, and they were really welcome options. You got HDR for a start.
Right, I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, it's HDR toggle on or off. I don't know about the resolution. There wasn't really a way for me to tell, but it looks really good. But I don't know if it's 4K. I don't know if it's checkerboard. I don't know. Okay, but it looks nice. It's got an option to give it a 30 frame cap if you wish.
Right.
Or you can leave it, which means the quality would be better, but it might struggle. Yeah. So you can, or you can cap it at 30. You can also, there's another toggle for frame rate or quality as well. So you could keep the frame rate steady. This is a separate option to the 30 frame cap, which I thought they sort of contradicted each other a little bit, but there was also an option for frame rate or quality as well. So I thought they were all really good options straight away on the first title page. Options, there you go. None of this invert the mouse, or invert your joypad or whatever. It was just sort of brightness, HDR, do you want 30 frame cap, do you want frame rate or quality, what's your preference? Get all that out of the way, then start the demo. Then it's single player or co-op. There's couch co-op on there. I'm not sure about online co-op.
Right.
So I played co-op with my son, and that was really good. And then we started the game. It's quite a short demo, but what happened is you spawn in an arena, in a monastery in the game world, and you're both. I think you're NAC. The single player appears as sort of red NAC, and then when you start, if you're in co-op, a blue clone of NAC appears as well, and then so you're both there. And basically, they say you need to learn to fight, and the enemies start spawning, and it starts to teach you the combat. And basically, you fight against enemies in an arena, and when you're victorious, you run through some sort of fairly simple platforming corridors through to another arena and do some more fighting. That doesn't sound that great. It sounds quite generic. But you know something? It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Miles more fun than I expected. So much fun that I was quite disappointed when it ended. I mean, it was a bit on the short side, but it's still generous to get a taste these days. But it was really good. It's quite self-aware as well. Like, it gave a little dig at itself, because after you sort of did, I don't know, maybe midway through, you go to another arena and they bring out some harder guys, some better baddies, like mini bosses or almost. And one of the trainers comes up to you and he says, "You're not very good, are you? I mean, all you've got is 3 punches and a kick. What's that about?" And I just thought, oh, that's really funny. I quite like that sort of self-referential stuff. And then they explain some more technical moves that you can do. And then off you go again with bosses that will test those moves. So overall, it's raised my interest in the final NAC 2. Right. I think maybe it could be a bit of a surprise, and a pleasant surprise when it's released. It looks good. I think the devs are proud enough of it to bring out this demo. I think maybe they've done it for that purpose. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing more of that.
Isn't it Mark Cerny who's the guy behind it?
Yeah, it's his baby, yeah. So maybe he's just being indulged, but it feels from the demo that a lot of lessons have been learned from what I read about the initial NAC. But it's difficult to tell because it's quite short, but it was fun. It was fun, and I was sad it was over, so fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing the next one.
Just having a quick look on kind of online, and DualShockers are reporting that it is actually 4K. It does actually run 4K on the PlayStation Pro.
It did look lovely, but I just didn't want to say whether it was or not because I didn't know. But so you got your 4K HDR there, nice package. And it does look good. I was commenting because Sam was going through it on single player, which for what is quite good when he plays a game because I get to actually scrutinise the graphics more than I do when I'm playing it. Yes. And I was looking at the textures and the presentation, and like the arena floor is made of wooden planks, and they look so beautiful. You could see the grains, and I sort of like it was impressed me enough to point it out. I was like, "Look at this! This is amazing! Look at the sheen on this wood. Look at the grain on this wood." I was getting all excited as if I was some kind of carpenter. But yeah, it looked really nice. Character models are nice. It's got a nice art style. looks fun. The combat feels good. The controls are good. There's no camera, even though it's 3D. You move the character with the left stick, and the right stick is a little bit like God of War in that you dodge with the right stick.
Right.
So you hit that right stick and you dodge around. The camera works for it, just does it on its own, and it seems to do it competently in the small demo. It was absolutely fine. In co-op as well, there was a button that instantly teleported you in a really lovely way to your your colleague, your other player. And it did that by basically breaking you down into all the knickknacks that he's made of, and then streaming across like carried on a breeze over to your co-op partner, and then reforming again. And it's a really nice touch. And you've also got quite an array of stuff you can do, because you can punch, you can kick, you can do some extra special moves that they explain to you. You've got a shield on one button, so you can shield yourself against projectiles. I think you can also bounce them back if you time it right. You've got the dodge move. I might be missing something there, but all in all, you've got quite a full set of controls there, and it felt fun to play.
Excellent stuff. And family friendly, I guess, because you're playing with Sam?
Yeah, totally family friendly. Yeah, absolutely. A game that, I don't know. Yeah, I've only played the demo, but I sort of feel assured that Knack is a family friendly game. That's its purpose, really. It's like the only one out of all the games that are out ever. It's like it's going to be okay. There's no sort of blood and stuff. You're just clobbering baddies, and it's very cartoony and safe and warm and fun.
Fantastic, awesome. That sounds really good. I'll check it out.
Yeah, worth having. I mean, the demo's up there. Have a look. And I suppose then, Uncharted, The Lost Legacy.
The fanfare. Yeah. I was trying to do the Uncharted theme, but it just skipped my brain.
I mean, I was trying to remember that the other day, because me and Sam have been playing this game of humming video game tunes to each other and then trying to guess them.
Right.
And the trouble is, he's doing all these tunes from Crypt of the Necrodancer, which he's banged into at the moment. Which is frustrating because he's been making me play it, and I've lost my skills, so I've had to kind of get better again and get annoyed. And I'm like, it's like, your turn, Daddy, and every tune I think of, it's like, but Sam hasn't played that. I'm thinking of blooming Commodore 64 tunes, or Paperboy, or Ghosts and Goblins, and things like that. And I'm like, Daz, wake up, mate. Oh, dear. Anyway, sorry, I digress. Lost Legacy. Interestingly enough, Lost Legacy, it's topped the UK sales chart. So It's been a popular seller. And it's...
So did that knock Crash Bandicoot 2, Crash Bandicoot, the Warped edition, off the top spot? So did like Sony exclusive kind of knock another Sony exclusive off the charts?
I think that might have happened, yeah. And this is the sixth time a PS exclusive has come straight in at number one in 2017.
Wow.
Would you like to hear the others? They are... This is the list. So obviously we've got Uncharted Lost Legacy that's just done it. The other ones are Horizon Zero Dawn, Crash Bandicoot, Persona 5, Wipeout, Final Fantasy 12, The Zodiac Age. So they've done it 6 times over the year. It's amazing, isn't it?
So Microsoft hasn't had 6 exclusives this year.
No. I know. It's a terrible state of affairs. And it shows that when there is an exclusive, there's an audience that's keen for it. It should show that. It must indicate it a little bit anyway, even without any firm figures. Naughty Dog
like that. I mean, if you think about it, there are some people that they only have an Xbox, or again, I've always said that you and I are very, and kind of James, we're very kind of lucky because we managed to have all of the consoles. But there are some people that just have a PlayStation, and that's all they need. And so to have something that's exclusive for you it feels good, and you can tell that's why a lot of people that's why these exclusives do chart.
Yeah, and people would gravitate towards a console with lots of exclusives. It's like a pat on the head. Oh, thank you. I got an exclusive. Naughty Dog they can't do any wrong at the moment. My thoughts on it, I really enjoyed it. It's the standalone DLC mini adventure that Lost Legacy is. I sort of think it might fit that description. I thought it was a good length, though. I thought it'd be shorter than it was. I've finished it now, and it clocked me about 10.5 hours.
Not too bad, not too shabby.
Not too shabby at all. I mean, admittedly, I misheard a bit of speech, or I got distracted for a bit of a conversation. And there's this bit where you're on an open area in the Jeep, and you've got a map, and there's all these different places you can visit. And you visit each one, and there's a puzzle. It's a little bit like, they're not as sort of ornate as Tomb Raider puzzles. But each one's a bit like you go to the place and there's a little puzzle to solve, like a tomb if you like, though they're not all in caves. So you go to the area on the map. I think there's about 6 or 7, maybe 8 or 9. And each one, you solve a puzzle and you get a token. And you discover that there's a main sort of place where you can insert all these tokens. Mm-hmm. And I think I sort of missed the point of something or other because I decided, or I thought, that was the objective. Apparently, this is an objective. I've discovered when I completed it, this was an optional objective.
Yes.
And it got me this bracelet, which then sort of signals, a little bit like the Tingle Mask, it signals when you're near treasures in the game.
Right.
So I spent some time doing that, and then I thought, right, and they went, right, let's do it. And I put all my tokens into this big sort of map on the wall, and I was like, oh, brilliant, we'll open up the story now and see what happens next. And she got this blooming bracelet, and I was like, oh, you're joking. Because I had a suspicion I'd missed something. I was like, oh, blooming heck. Now where am I supposed to go? So then I went back to the map. I was like, and Sam pointed out to me, because I showed him the map. And I said, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing here, little one. Can you help me? And he went, well, what about that massive place over at the top left that's got like 2 circles of red round it? And I was like, oh, yeah.
Your next waypoint objective, old man.
Says objective here with a big arrow. I was like, oh, thank you, little gamer. Right, go back to your blooming piano practice. So, yeah. So I probably had in an hour there. But I enjoyed doing it, I'm quite glad I did. Cool. Yeah. If I'd have known I could skip it, I reckon I would have done. But because I did it by accident, I was quite happy. But then I was a bit annoyed because every time the bracelet chimed, I had to stop what I was doing and I couldn't help it. I had to root about and have a look for the treasures. And in the end, I was like, oh, please don't ring because I just want to I'm just enjoying the adventure. I'm not one of these ones for 100%. But if I hear a chime, I've got to have a look. So I kept having to stop and have a look. But that was really good. So I'd say, maybe without doing all that, probably maybe about 8 hours or something like that, which is a good time. I remember there's been single-player games at full price that have come out that have been 7 or 8 hours long in the past. It's based in India, and it stays there for the whole duration of the game, unlike some previous games. The bigger games are a bit more jet-set, aren't they? They go around the world a little bit more. This is all set in India, which allows it to show some amazing environments in India. Beautiful. It's not that different than we used to because, a beautiful, lush jungle is a beautiful, lush jungle, probably whether it's in the Amazon rainforest or if it's, if it's in India or whatever. And you get the 2 characters, Chloe Fraser, and she's hooked up with Nadine Ross, who's the mercenary woman from Uncharted 4 who works for Shoreline. And you hook up together on a quest to find the Tusk of Ganesh, which is a treasure that they want. And you find out a little bit of why they want to find it, or why, more precisely why Chloe wants to find it as the game goes on, and you hear a bit more about Chloe's backstory, and about her father was a treasure hunter and he was looking for this tusk. And also you get to know a little bit more about Nadine, her backstory and her motivations as well. And that's nice. It works really well. It's the usual sort of Uncharted split. As I say, don't go in getting this game. It's a DLC. It was started as a DLC. It's not making any pretenses that it's going to be some great shake-up of gameplay. It's Uncharted. Okay, so if you like Uncharted, then you're probably going to like it. In fact, I'd say you would. If you love Uncharted, you're going to love it. If you're getting a bit bored with the formula, it's more of the same. Okay, so just I like it, and it's been long enough to enjoy another adventure, especially as it's not like 25 hours or something. So you've got the split of gameplay, really, I'd say, is you've got gunplay, puzzle solving, exploration, and set pieces. I think you could sort of split it up into those quadrants. And I thought it was really well balanced. Really well balanced. That I felt there wasn't even exploring in the Jeep doing my extra bit. I just enjoyed it. I felt it was all fun. There wasn't really any downtime. The story went well. It's got HDR. Again,
it does indeed.
Not sure of the resolution. I think it might be checkerboard.
I think it is, yeah, because Uncharted 4 was checkerboard and it looks absolutely superb. The start, the opening was stunning, I thought.
Yeah. Walking through the Indian market and stuff like that. It's
and the emotion and the characteristics on that little girl's face right at the start. The one who owns the bazaar. She kept kind of like rolling her eyes and moving her head around. I thought that was stunning. I thought it was absolutely stunning when I was watching that. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, there were a lot of human characteristics, like you say there, wasn't there? Like rolling her eyes, like the characters like Chloe would kind of go and she'd blow the hair off her forehead, in that sort of movement, and just little twitches and tells that people do. There was a bit, and they were just chatting as they were sitting on a rock looking at some beautiful vista or other, and I think Chloe just sort of scratched her back and sort of did a little shiver, and I just thought there's absolutely no need that they had to put that in, but it made it more real. But they didn't have to do it, and there was a lot of touches like that. I've done a load of screenshots through my adventure that I'm going to post them all to Twitter now. I've finally learned how to do it because I did it with Kingdom Hearts. I'm going to post my Uncharted screenshots out, so that people, so that if anything, so that I've got them there as a record because there's some just beautiful things there. There's loads of heartleap moments as rocks crumble beneath your grasp as you climb, or you misstep on a mountain, the usual Uncharted fare. And it still gets me. I should just think, really, well, this is obviously going to happen. And even though I've got that little niggle in the back of my mind, I still enjoy it. And some of the set pieces, they're just so spectacular. You probably couldn't say they're better or more explosive than Uncharted 4, but they're just so much fun to be part of that adventure. And just talking about the characters, I thought that at first I thought they were a little bit jaded, and I was like, "Oh, this isn't Drake. I'm not happy. I'm set in my ways." But as the adventure progressed, I really warmed to them both. Not just Chloe either, not just the one that you're controlling. I warmed to Nadine as well. It was really interesting to see her side and hear her side of the story. And they did seem like two really human guys that were overcoming sort of their masks and getting to know each other throughout the game. And both of them made me laugh on more than one occasion. At first, I just thought, when I first started playing it, I was like, this is ridiculous. Chloe is just an exact copy of Nathan Drake in her character with the constant one-liners, and it's just basically Nathan Drake done with a woman's voice with a woman's skin. But that fell away as I played the game. At first I was like, this is just Nathan Drake. It's like, how many one-liners? It's like, come on, she's not the same. But she became her own person. She became an individual as I played it. What was I going to say? Yeah.
I did think that the character model was very much kind of Nathan Drake, kind of with a woman's body over it. The actual kind of motion capture, because she jumped like him. She kind of like hung. When you kind of jump and you land on a rock, and I was just like, they really did just kind of file save as. But it's very cool. I mean, for me, I kind of likened it, and it's actually made me want to go back and play it. I likened it to Metal Gear Solid 5. Because you get to this open area, so the main objectives of the mission. You get to this open area. There's lots of enemies swarming around that you're then marking, and you're not fortuning anyone, but you're marking, and then you're slowly, stealthily taking them all out, and then kind of unveiling that objective. And I was like, this really feels like Metal Gear Solid, and I want to go back and play Metal Gear Solid now because I never finished it, but it really made me want to go back and play that, because I was really getting into the groove. I haven't finished it yet. I've just unlocked the kind of main objective that you need to lock that you had problems finding, and it's ginormous. But I found I absolutely loved it. I did all of that in kind of one sitting. I think I must have done about like 3/4 of the game, maybe. I mean, if you finished it, kind of, I've just unlocked that big thing, and I was just literally just about to go through it, and I thought, do you know what, now's a really good time.
I paused there as well.
Yeah, I had some things I needed to do, so I thought, now's a good time to just kind of stop and kind of come back to it. Unfortunately, I haven't had time to come back to it yet, but I definitely want to finish that story off before the weekend.
Yeah, the environments is weird. They did the spectacle of it just pull you through, and by the end of it, it's just like, how can this get any better? Like where you stopped, it's kind of like I stopped there too, but the spectacle of it made me want to carry on. It's like, and then after hours in, it's just like, how can they keep throwing these amazing vistas at me? With the flamingos flying past, or it's just
that
beautiful.
Bit was stunning. When you drove up to that, I mean, I know that it kind of felt like a bit of a set piece, but it was incredible that you kind of, as you were driving through the jungle, that she just went, oh, look at the flamingos, and then this whole pack, if it's a pack of flamingos, just took off into the air, and I was just like, wow, that is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it truly was. I'm just trying to find out what the collective noun for flamingos is.
A pink of flamingos.
A pink of flamingos. a leg of flamingos. I don't know, because they stand on one leg there. If it takes too much explaining, it's not right, is it?
No.
A flamboyance.
Oh, nice.
Wow. That is nice, isn't it? I'm glad I looked it up. A flamboyance of flamingos.
So there it was. You're driving through the jungle and a flamboyance of flamingos just kind of takes the sky. I thought that was stunning. I thought it was absolutely incredible.
Wow. The flamingos are not the only flamboyance in this game. Beautiful. It's
go.
On the box from Gamers of the Lost Spark.
That should have been it. But no, it's really good. So you finished it. So there's, I mean, I like I say, I haven't finished it yet, but I kind of can. I like this. I do like this this bite-sized Uncharted. I would happily have more of these kind of almost like young Indiana Jones, these tiny little, instead of this big game that spans 20 hours or something like that, just to have these kind of smaller, kind of bite-sized Uncharted throughout the year. I think it's very cool.
Yeah, there's a nice twist in it as well. Not so much a twist, but something happens that'll make you smile, later on.
Right.
But yeah, and it's quite good that Naughty Dog as well, they seem a bit self-aware. They take a self-deprecating shot when Nadine and Chloe were having one of these chats as they drove around in the Jeep. And Nadine said, how could you even bother going out with that Nathan Drake? He's so irritating. And then like Chloe went, well, it just happened. And Nadine said something like, Did either of you two ever shut up? I just thought that was class, because it sort of mirrored what I'd been thinking, and I just thought that was really good.
Yeah,
it's really good. I think they stood on their own really well after me going through a bit of doubt and a bit of like maybe missing what I'm used to. Mm-hmm. And by the end of it, I was just totally, honestly, man, you've got there's loads after you do that bit. It's really, really enjoyable, and there's some amazing set pieces. The whole end is on a moving train.
Right.
And it's awesome. I'll just leave it at that. It's Naughty Dog. It's Naughty Dog, isn't it? It's spectacle, it's lush, it's beautiful, and it's fun.
Yes. Oh, fantastic. No, like I say, I really enjoy it. Can't wait to jump back in and kind of finish that off.
Yeah. Well worth anybody's time, and it's cheap, isn't it? It's about £30.
I think so. Yes, it is.
Nobody needs to know. They've all bought it.
$29.99. I actually thought that I bought the special edition digital one, and I thought I was getting it for free, but I wasn't. When I went on the PlayStation Store, it was definitely saying buy, so I was like, okay, I'm going to buy. So I just kind of bought it. But yeah, I was absolutely just blown away by it. Really cool.
Yeah.
So is that
really
it? Have you been playing anything else?
No, that's it for me.
I think the only other thing that I haven't even started playing, but kind of we'll be talking about it next week. I've got everybody's golf. Everybody's golf came out today on the PlayStation Network, and I've got everybody's golf. And right now, as we're podding, Nicola is downstairs creating my avatar. She's really good at like Mii's or Xbox avatars. She's really good at kind of creating avatars. So I said to her, what are you doing whilst I'm podding? And she was like, well, I'm not sure I'm going to do this and this. I said, would you mind firing up the PlayStation and creating me an avatar so I can play everyone's golf when I finish podding? So hopefully, I've just asked for a progress, but she's probably just ignoring her phone while she's doing this, so I can't get a progress shot yet. So yes, so that's gonna be next week is everybody's golf. So I'm quite looking forward to that. Quite looking forward to jumping in.
Yeah, that's a good game. That's on my list to get. But I can't get it at the moment because I'm going through it. It's like Splatoon, I think, signified the end of the lull of games for you.
Yes,
I think it was probably Splatoon. For me, I wasn't that bothered about Splatoon. I still think it's a good game. But I wasn't going to get it. I was okay about that. This, though, Uncharted signified the end of it. But Uncharted comes with great games, come with big choices, because it's Uncharted, and then also we've got Yakuza, Kiwami that's out as well. So I want to get that. So that's sort of next on my list. And I also want to get Rabbids.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's after Rabbids? Crikey.
Life is Strange comes out tomorrow.
Life is Strange is out. My goodness me, we've got Life is Strange Before the Storm.
I've already got the deluxe edition downloaded and ready to roll on the Xbox One.
So what was the thing you get? Was it a Max adventure?
I get new.
Only if you get deluxe.
different clothes. I get different clothes. There's some outfits, and there's also like a little mini adventure like Max's Adventure. There's a big hoo-ha at the moment because the platinum trophy, if you're that way inclined on the PlayStation, you can only achieve the platinum by owning the deluxe edition. Now they are going to patch it. But they said that right now, they won't be patching that until episode 2.
Okay, so could you not get the platinum? Is the platinum for the whole story?
Yes, you won't be able to get the platinum until episode 3's out, but they're going to they're going to patch it so the trophy list doesn't include this. So the platinum's obtainable by not just owning the Ultimate Edition, and it's only a couple of quid extra though. The Ultimate Edition.
Oh, is it? Is it not much money? I didn't even know the price. But even so, it sounds like it's fine anyway. What's the story? They're going to sort it out.
Exactly. I can't wait. I don't want to wait because I have a thing at the moment where I wake up early and play some games. I don't want to wake up early and play some games when that comes. I want to, like tomorrow night, I want to just finish work and do whatever we're doing and then just sit down and play it in one go as well, because it's like a 3-part episode. We don't know what the length is at the moment. But I just want to sit down and just kind of play it in one go. And I think that's either going to be my Thursday night or my Friday night.
I really liked about Life is Strange. Well, I liked all of it, but I really loved about how it made me rethink and reminisce about the beauty of true friendship. And that's what this is going to do, that, because it's all about Chloe and Rachel Amber. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope they do it really well. Really hope. I've read some previews, not much of them, just sort of the conclusion. And the previews that I've read, I think they did a few interviews at Gamescom, and the impressions that I'm getting are that it's been made with love and with an appreciation of the of Dontnod's work, and it's quite exciting. I'm crossing my fingers. I'm optimistic.
Yeah, no, I can't wait. I can't wait. It's going to be excellent. Right, shall we jump into the news? But actually, before we start the news, don't forget you can rate, review, and subscribe to this very podcast for free on iTunes and YouTube. So get over and do that. Thank you very much. And let's jump into the news. And in this week's news section, Xbox One pre-orders are through the roof. Nintendo have a show off their Nindies. And also, we have the free games for September on both Xbox and PlayStation 4 does.
Yay! Teach me not to glance down the list.
Well, the first piece of news, sir, is with you.
Brilliant. Yeah, it's with me. So this is about Xbox One pre-orders. So we were talking about the reveal last pod, and we've had a few days now. I think we had like 1 day or 2 days from the last pod, and they'd sold out as far as we knew. But yeah, they have gone through the roof, and Xbox has posted on Xbox Newswire just how happy they are. The headline is, thanks to our fans, Xbox One X is the fastest selling Xbox pre-order ever. So that's cool. Some nice little snippets from the post that I've made. We could put the link to this post in the show notes for everybody. Within just a few days, we saw record-setting sellout times and are currently sold out in many countries across the world. That's one. When was this posted? On August the 25th. What else did they say? Our biggest fans have pre-ordered more Xbox One X Project Scorpio Edition consoles in the first 5 days than any Xbox ever. And then they said there are some snippets from the media that they've put there as well from the industry. This one is from. Let's just have a look. This one's from GameStop. Microsoft has done it again. Innovation and power behind the Xbox One X console, driving excitement and demand among our customers worldwide. This is from the Senior Vice President of Merchandising for GameStop. He said the speed at which we sold through our initial pre-order supply surpassed expectations. And what we experienced with pre-orders for the original Xbox as well. The new system is definitely going to change how video games are played. Well, I don't know about that, but it's obviously sold quickly. And then Media Market said, a great piece of tech with great onrush. Microsoft's high-end console hits the hearts and minds of console fans. We are absolutely astonished with the run of Microsoft's new flagship console of the Xbox One family. The Xbox One Scorpio edition was the fastest sold-out Xbox console ever. They also say, don't worry if you're trying to get hold of one. They're going to announce details of the next wave of Xbox One X standard editions next month.
Excellent. That's really good, because I'm just looking on eBay right now, and they're going from £650 to £1,000 for the Scorpio edition.
My goodness. It made me. I read that. I was sort of last week. We were kind of like, oh, we wish this and we wish that. And obviously, there's still that sort of white elephant about the games. Mm-hmm. But and this must sound awful, but I read something like that you can't get them, and I'm like, oh, glad I got my pre-order in. It doesn't matter. But I mean, Eurogamer did a nice article. Going through the Xbox, they did some comparisons from the Xbox One and the Xbox One X, quite a lengthy article. And reading that and reading the difference and reading how impressed the guys over at Digital Foundry were with it made me think, wow, this really is the best console. And it reinforced my decision of pre-ordering one. I was a bit like, I might cancel it, but I read that and I was kind of like, Richard Ledbetter, what he's saying here is, I'm surprised. He's really singing its praises. The technology that they've got. And surely all Xbox need to do is harness that, which I'm sure they're going to do. So it just made me think, wow, I read that and I finished reading the article and I just kind of sat back and thought, wow, I'm glad I'm glad I'm getting one, sort of thing. Yeah, so it helped my doubt. Aaron Greenberg has said that the response to the Xbox One X Scorpio Edition reveal was overwhelming. Even though I think they were ready to say, if it doesn't sell, because they were ready to say, yeah, but remember, this is a flagship premium product.
Yes,
and all that sort of thing, because they do say it. They haven't hidden away from that. And I think they were they're expecting everything I hear. You got Major Nelson talking about it. Everybody talks about this, and it's kind of like, yeah, well, the Xbox One S is probably going to be the big seller. That's the one to hit the main market. So I think they're a bit surprised, because they're like, I can't believe that it seems that they're surprised at how well it's sold. And they're basically saying that they're going to be, how did they put it? Aaron Greenberg said they're going to make as many Xbox One X's as they can make. All the signs are that it's going to be the number one hit product of this holiday. So we're going to keep up with demand as best we can. And they're really going to try and deliver. So, they I don't know about, I think they might be surprised. I mean, obviously they hoped it would be a hit, but I think it's maybe gone over their expectation, and now they're going to be, working in the factories, cracking the whip, getting more Xboxes made.
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely spot on. It sounds like they were obviously trying to hype it. They were trying to make something of it, which is why they had the Gamescom announcement. They're trying to make a big fanfare and go, here it is, because they have been teasing it for a year. But I don't think they were kind of expecting the amount of F5ing that everyone was doing on Amazon, so they could kind of pre-order. Like I say, if you go onto Amazon or if you go into Microsoft stores right now, it is sold out.
Wow. And does it mean, like we were sort of hypothesising last week, that the gamers now, us included, we are sold. Games is obviously a big thing, but has there been a bit of a shift? And now, if something comes along that's got those specs, everyone will just jump at it on the promise that it will be, that there'll be games that are going to, show it off. And it sounds like, the best multi-formats are going to be on the Xbox One X. But it's as if without this big exclusive, without this, Mario 64 moment, without a Horizon Zero Dawn, it's still gone boom.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's good.
But, they have published...
Surprising, but it's good.
As we were talking about last week, they published a list of over 100 games that are going to be enhanced, both, old and new. And if you have a 4K TV, this is exactly kind of what your TV's been crying out for, because no one... you only do it occasionally. No one wants to drag their PC into the living room and plug their PC up to their TV to play a game, especially if you're playing like on mouse and keyboard. I know you can play controller on PC, but... So this, for me, has been that, and as I was saying last week, I'm probably repeating myself, but it's like I wanted a small form factor PC that could kick out 4K graphics, and this is what I'm getting with the Xbox One X. So I'm just cannot wait for November.
And with Play Anywhere and the Windows Store, it's almost like it's a mid-step. They're trying to give that middle ground between PC and console. I think they'll probably be. I think probably part of their strategy is to explore that more. But it's awesome. You're going to get a nice shiny box that does all that you want. If I wanted that up to getting an Xbox One X or a PS4 Pro, I had to drag my 2 foot high PC into the lounge, and it is great. But I wanted to play Unreal, but my playing mouse and keyboard on the couch, I've got to pull over a table, and the coffee table's too low. And do you know what I mean? It's not at a desk, so it's not optimal. So yeah, it's kind of it's a great time, and it's the future, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, for me, as a consumer who wants all of those things, wants power, wants to stay in the Xbox ecosystem, I've always said that I prefer consoles over the PC. For me, this is targeted exactly for me. It's someone who likes Microsoft gaming, loves the multi-platforms, wants to play Star Wars Battlefront in shiny 4K, wants all of this stuff. This is just like it should be the Project Chesson edition, because this is everything that I've ever wanted, and I'm so glad it sold out, because maybe that gives Microsoft the confidence. Not that they've been bashed, because they have Phil, they have Aaron Greenberg. They are kind of very much kind of out there.
They're still doing really well. It's just that they're kind of eclipsed by Sony's sales, but they're still doing really well, aren't they?
Absolutely. At E3, Phil Spencer was very, very confident that, the Scorpio was just going to blow everyone away. And I can't wait for November to play it and just look at Gears of War in that 4K. Look at Forza, Forza Motorsport 6. All of these games just come alive on my TV.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing Hitman.
Yes.
Because I know that's got a 4K update. That's just there waiting. I'm quite excited about that. Yeah, that's what I'm most excited about at the moment.
Excellent stuff. So Xbox pre-orders sold out, but like you say, they're going to have nearer the launch of the Scorpio edition. They're going to have some like the next wave.
Yeah, next wave of standard
editions. This is your
editions.
day one edition, isn't it? This is your day ones.
Yeah. So a massive sort of entity like Microsoft, you wouldn't expect that they'd be short on supply. But we'll watch this space. We'll carry on reporting on it, and we'll see how they do on the run up to Christmas. And will it be the number one Christmas present?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Microsoft, don't take a leaf out of Nintendo's book. Don't look at Nintendo and go, we need to do that. Because no one does. No one should.
Only Nintendo can get away with Nintendo stuff.
Exactly. You got these people who have bought Xbox One X to sell them on eBay for £900 and stuff. I want there to be enough Xbox One X's out there that eBay doesn't stand a chance.
Did you say that Amazon would only let you do one pre-order per customer?
I think so. I'm not sure.
That goes some way to try and stop it, to quell the flow, doesn't it?
It really does. It really does. So the next piece of news is with me, and this is the Games for Gold, but free games for September on both Games for Gold and also on the PlayStation Network. Let's start with the Games for Gold, and for the month of September, you will be able to get Forza Horizon. Oh no, not Forza Horizon, even Forza Motorsport 5, Racing Game of the Year edition. So this is the Game of the Year edition, which includes a lot of the kind of DLC, lots of the car packs. So this is currently about kind of $39.99, and will be available from the 1st of September. So probably when you listen to this pod, Forza Motorsport 5 is now available on Xbox One. Have you played Motorsport 5, Darren?
I probably have, but probably only in demo form. I didn't buy it.
Right. So
I probably played the demo.
It's a good one to jump into.
I'm not. It was always the realism and all the millions of options and stuff. So it never got me. I'm more of a Project Gotham kind of guy, which I love Forza Horizon.
Yes.
So yeah, it's beautiful though. But yeah, I've always had another racer on the go. So yeah, I played the demo. I mean, but yeah, never. Actually, I played the demo. There might not have been a demo for this one. But yeah, I'm not devout Forza like you.
No, they did have I think they did have a demo. They also had the Fast and the Furious for free as well. There was a Fast and Furious that was in the...
Oh yeah, I played that. I enjoyed that.
Was that in Horizon? No, that might have even been a Horizon 2 engine. Anyway, Forza Motorsport 5 Racing Game of the Year edition will be available from the 1st to the 30th of September. Coming mid-September, coming the 16th of September to the 15th of August, we have Oxenfree. Now, I'm super excited about this because this is one of the games that I've always kind of, in that Sunday afternoon, I want to play something. I've been very tempted to play Oxenfree from Night School Studios. And this is a kind of like a supernatural thriller. It kind of reminds me a bit like Goonies. It's a point and click adventure. It just looks absolutely superb. This is a game that I cannot wait to play, and I'm really looking forward to actually kind of getting a game that I'm super excited about in the Games with Gold.
Yeah, a lot of good press about this game.
Oh yeah.
And like you said, I'm the same. It went under my radar. And then, because like we've discussed this many times, most games that we get for free haven't gone under our radar. We couldn't wait for several years for them to come out or whatever, so we've already played them. And it's nice to get something that's, that's really quality, that slipped under the radar, and now that we can enjoy it. I'm in the same boat as you here. I'm really looking forward to Oxenfree.
Yeah, Oxenfree has a gorgeous style to it. It just looks really cool. I highly recommend it. And this comes out the 16th of September to the 15th of October. And then over on the 360, but playable via backwards compatibility on the Xbox One, we have from the 1st to the 15th, we have Hydro Thunder Hurricane, which is kind of Wave Race. It's Wave Race, isn't it, for the Xbox? And then also kind of rounding out September from the 16th to the 30th, we have Battlefield 3.
That's good, isn't it? Good for the 360 owners and Xbox One owners as well. Yeah, it's not a bad. I don't know what the collective noun is for Games with Gold, but it's not a bad bunch, is it?
A nice collection. That's kind of that's for Xbox and Games with Gold. Then over on the PlayStation Store, I'm just kind of scrolling, trying to get a date on here. We have, because he just literally came as we were setting up the pod. They just popped in. So we have for September we have Infamous Second Son.
Cool.
So, Infamous Second Son, which was was it a launch title or a launch window title?
Yeah, I think it really was, yeah. I was getting mixed up then thinking of the one that I got free ages ago, which was one of the first games that they did HDR for.
Yes.
That wasn't Second Son, was it? Was it... Can't remember, mine's gone blank, but I'm sure you know the one.
Yeah.
So now we get a full adventure, Second Son.
Absolutely. Have you ever played it?
A little bit. I played the demo. It didn't
really
sell it
good.
to me.
It's really good.
I wasn't into it.
In HDR, seeing that Seattle Crab logo in HDR is a thing of beauty. It was a thing of beauty before we even knew about the words HD and R or the letters HD and R. It was a thing of beauty, and now kind of it's well worth a play.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it, but I don't know. I just didn't enjoy it enough at the time to get involved. But it's good. It's a high production value game for free, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. I'm just trying to find out what that other one was called.
Yeah, it's doing my head in as well. I've been having a look. So
I'm just trying to figure out First Light.
Thank you very much. So I enjoyed that, and I don't know what it was about it. I think that there must have been another open world game that I was busy with at the time, and I had a go of it, and I just thought, it's okay. And it's got some good mechanics, but I don't know. I didn't find the main character, that engaging.
Right.
But I didn't play it enough.
Delson,
it was only the demo. Now I've got my chance.
Yes, you do indeed. And then also on the PlayStation 4 with on the PS Plus, we have Child of Light.
Awesome. That's out. That's already been on Xbox Games with Gold, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has it.
Yeah.
Right, I bought that when it came out because that was one of the Ubisoft Game Jam games, wasn't it? It's from the same people that brought us that World War I game as well. It's that kind of the Ubisoft letting their developers go wild and go free, and they kind of created something as gorgeous as Child of Light.
Yeah, their sort of fringe studio.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a good game, Child of Light. Yeah,
yes.
Really, really fine game.
So I'm taking this from the EU blog, and we have a bonus game for the PlayStation 4 this month. A very interesting bonus game because it is Riggs, Mechanized Assault. We have a VR game in the PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, I was going to. There's no surprise in you, Antony. Obviously, news hound you. But I got an email just before podding, and I was going to surprise you with that news. I was going to look. There's a VR game. Riggs is free for everybody. It's a bonus game.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool.
It's pretty superb. It's the first. It's finally happened because
it's one of the better games as well, isn't it?
It was definitely one of the flagship titles. It kind of made me feel a little bit queasy when I was playing the demo, but it was definitely something that your eyes got used to, and it was really cool. It looked fantastic when you were playing it on VR.
It's like sort of I might be slightly wrong with my description, but from what I remember, it's kind of a American football game with mechs. Or just like a speedball game, with mechs, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's got online multiplayer, or it did have at launch. I can't imagine it'd be couch co-op unless with like 4 or 5 PSVR headsets. So yeah, I think that's a really good one because it's got loads of playability.
It has indeed.
As long as people are in the lobbies and playing it.
Yeah, so it's really good that we finally got a VR game in on the PlayStation Plus. I'll be downloading it and maybe dusting off my my headset, dusting off my fancy goggles.
And it's good that it's a bonus game because it wouldn't be fair, would it, to actually take the place of a normal game because there's not enough PSVRs out there to justify that. Everybody would be up in arms. So giving it as a bonus game, I think, is quite... You'll probably still get some people moaning. But yeah, that's the right way to approach it, isn't it?
Indeed. And then still another bonus game. The bonuses just keep going. We've still got That's You as well. So That's You, I think That's You it's September will be the last month of That's You.
Oh, okay.
For free. So we've got Infamous Second Son, Child of Light, Riggs, That's You on for PlayStation 4. We've got Truck Racers on PlayStation 3, Hardball 2016 on PlayStation 3, and then PS Vita and PlayStation 4 crossplay. We have We Are Doomed and Hatterful Boyfriend.
Oh, Hatterful Boyfriend, excellent. I heard a lot about that. I wouldn't mind having a look at that. Good, because I've never played it. Indie game, I think it made its name on Steam.
Right.
And I think you're a pigeon or something that dates a human or something like that.
Just couldn't make this stuff up, could you?
It's really wacky, man. You could not make this up. So it's definitely got its own fan base. I've never had time. It's sort of one of those things. Whenever I heard about it, I was like, "Oh, that sounds good. I'll have to have a look at it." But then it just vanished from my mind. And now there's no excuse. I'm always like the cross-play games. They're always like little surprise. So that's awesome. I'm looking forward to that.
There you go. So they will be available in the first week of September. The Xbox games have come the kind of first of September. I must admit, I think because of that big game, Infamous, and then a VR game, I think PlayStation have it this month.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think there's more. I think there's more quality there. I think they've got it. It's a good haul.
I mean, obviously, if you haven't played Forza, then it's the Xbox Games with Gold is stonking because Forza 5 is a fantastic game and gets that palette ready for Forza 6.
Yeah, and if you've got a PSVR, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, absolutely.
As long as you didn't buy Riggs.
Indeed. So that's it. So that's the free games. Lots of games to play for free in September. Next piece of news, sir, is with you.
It is, and this is about Half-Life. Let's have some Half-Life news, shall we?
It's coming out.
It's coming out. Half-Life 3. It's out tomorrow. No. Boo. But what has happened is Mark Laidlaw, he was lead writer over at Valve for Half-Life 2. And I think the NDA has ended on Half-Life 2 episodes 1 and 2 or whatever, or Half-Life generally. I think the NDA is finally over. So he took to his blog and wrote a synopsis of what was going to happen in Half-Life 2 episode 3, which broke his website when it got out because he got that many hits. So he just posted it, I think, on Twitter saying that this is what would have happened. And basically, the internet broke as everybody swarmed onto it to find out what was going to happen in Half-Life 2 Episode 3, which everyone was left on a cliffhanger at the end of Half-Life 2 Episode 2. So what he did, I don't know whether there must be some kind of legal thing because he changed the names to protect the innocent.
Right.
So you've got Gertie Fremont taking the place of Gordon Freeman.
That's awesome.
Ellie is Eli, and Hyperborea takes the place of the Borealis. So Mr. Laidlaw, he left Valve a year ago, and he's retired now, or seemingly so, which means there's now none of the Half-Life 2 senior developers left at Valve. They've all gone. They've all gone by the wayside. I'm not going to talk about what he's written, but if you're still interested about what may have happened after Half-Life 2, Episode 2, then you can read Mark Laidlaw's take on it. Everything seems to point to the fact that this is what would have happened. You can read his Epistle 3, strangely named dialogue, over on his blog, and I'll put a link for that in the show notes as well. So it's kind of interesting to read it, but there's been a lot of sadness because it's sort of like, well, it's kind of as if this is the final nail in the coffin, that this is kind of like, if that's coming out, there's never going to be any more Half-Life. Yeah. That's it. You know what I mean? It's just going to be whatever that card game is that they announced recently. You know, it's all about Dota, isn't it?
Yes.
Is it Arcane? I think they announced they had a big thing, and it's like, here's a new game, and everyone's thinking as usual, it's going to be Half-Life 3 or Half-Life 2 Episode 3. And it was like Arcane, the Dota card game, and it's just like, oh my goodness. And then this comes out. There's no more guys that were there in the old. You know, it's probably a completely different place than what it was.
Did you hear the audio from when they released that new game? Because they released it at a Dota conference, didn't they? And everyone's like, a new game from Valve, and everyone was going crazy. And then they went, a Dota-based arcade card-based game, and there was just a collective sigh and a moan and a groan from the audience. You know, if you're the product manager of that game, you're like, oh crap, you know, this isn't what they want. You know,
it must be very difficult if you're sort of bringing out any game for Valve. Unless it's Dota or something, you know, any new IP. If it's not bumming Half-Life, you've got your work out. Because everyone's just instantly going to say, I'm boycotting that to teach Valve a lesson. There's already comments down on Dota or something saying stuff like on Steam that it's like, right, I'm not playing Dota anymore, you know, 0 out of 10 or whatever, because that'll teach you to be more focused on Dota than Half-Life. We want Half-Life, you know, all that sort of thing. So, yeah, it'd be really awful. It's the job that no one would want.
Yes, indeed. You know, there are a couple of games that they could pull out. A new Left 4 Dead would be amazing. Portal. I could really do with some new Portal right now. I loved the co-op. Nicola and I co-opted through Portal 2, split-screen co-opted through Portal 2, and had so much fun. You know, literally, the laughing at my expense or the stupid things that I was doing. It was maybe a precursor to Overcooked, but it was just so much fun that I would just love some more Portal in my life right now.
Yeah, I actually had a little bit of extra Portal because I downloaded Portal Stories VR.
Oh, okay.
Which I don't know if I actually talked to on the pod. I may have talked about it on the pod. And that's quite enjoyable, but I actually I expected it to work differently. I don't think you actually fired a portal. You just sort of negotiated your way with buttons, and it's still good. It was still in the Portal labs, but not firing out a portal gun. Did you use a portal gun? You know something? It's that many months ago now. I can't remember. But it has a little exercise.
Surely you would have to. It's not Portal without a portal gun.
Yeah, well, you'd think so. Or Portal Stories without a portal gun.
It's like Mario Kart without the carts.
It is Mario Run. This is which also came out. This is where you're missing out, Antony, though, because if you had a PC, there's a few other one other significant fan-made Portal game,
right?
That Valve endorse, and it's really good. It's I think it's free if you've got Portal 2.
Wow.
And I've got it in my Steam list, but I can't comment anymore because I haven't played it. But it gets a good mark on Steam. So there is more Portal out there, Antony. If you're just willing to have a great ugly PC in your gaming room, in your gaming life.
No, I'll stick to my super beefy consoles. Thank you very much.
Fair
next, enough. Right, what's the next piece of news, sir?
This is a bit of a PSA, really. UK retailer CEX have been subject to an online security breach where they've had data stolen. Yeah, and I got an email about this because I'm a member. I bought things from CEX before, so I registered with them. And I got this email through saying they've been subject to a security breach. An unauthorized third party accessed their systems, and some customer data has been compromised. It includes personal information, and for a small number of customers, it also includes encrypted data from expired credit or debit cards. So it shouldn't be, that shouldn't be too bad. But they just confess it. I think it's law that you've got to sort of put your hand up if a company gets breached.
You do, indeed,
yeah. Yeah, you've got to declare it. They say that payment card information that has been taken was encrypted and has long since expired. They ceased storing customer card details in 2009, but they recommend that you change your password. If you use the same password for your CEX account as you do for other stuff, other accounts for whatever on the web, they recommend obviously that you change them. So if you've got your, if you're registered with CEX in the UK and you use that same password for anything else, then maybe you should look into changing it, or keep a careful eye on your finances and on the websites that you frequent. If there's anything dodgy, just be aware that there's been this breach, and maybe it could have something to do with that. It's apparently affected around 2 million of the customers.
Right.
For CEX in the UK. So
best thing to do is change your password right now.
Change your password right now, yeah. And if there's check your finances. If you see any dodgy transactions, that might be the cause. Have a little look. And if there's anything untoward, it could be to do with that breach, which is a bit of a shame.
Yeah, absolutely. They don't give any more details of what happened. They just say that, like I say, I think they are obligated by law to just announce it. I think like some 24 hours after it's happened, I think.
Yeah, they just say that they're working closely with the authorities to find out, who it is, who the culprits are, and that they're going to put in measures to make sure that it'll never happen again.
Wow, excellent stuff. Superb. Right, next piece of news, I guess is for both of us, but just before we podded, literally just before we started coming up to pod, we had the Nintendo Showcase, the Nindies Showcase to be precise, and this was Nintendo showing off all of its kind of latest indies that are really going to be hitting between, I guess, now and early 2018. I think most of them were kind of early 2018, but it was really kind of showcasing what's going to be coming out kind of Christmas in the Nindie front for the Nintendo Switch. There was some great titles. We'll go through those in just a minute. I think the big standouts, the one they opened the show with, or the showcase with, was the new Super Meat Boy. So they announced Super Meat Boy Forever has been announced, and it's coming to the Switch in 2018. Yeah,
Super Meat Boy, a favourite of mine. I really enjoy it. Might have been a PS Plus game. Or it might have been a free game.
I think it was a PS Plus game.
One another one.
Yeah,
of those
I remember playing it.
Yeah.
So
I was just going to say I got really involved in that game. Completed a lot of it. Not when it got too ridiculous. I had to stop at a certain point when you unlock Bandage Girl. I put the pad down and said enough is enough. But I like they said this with Super Meat Boy, didn't they? The Super Meat Boy Forever. They said it was called Forever because the game's going to go on forever.
Yes.
They don't think they fully explained it. They said it'll get harder and harder and harder and harder and harder. But I didn't understand where infinite levels came up from.
Well, they've got six chapters containing randomly constructed levels that increase in difficulty every time you rank up.
Oh, so it's going to use procedural generation.
Yeah, and they get harder and harder as you rank up. So you get to rank 10, their levels get harder, those chapters get harder.
Wow. So it could just get harder and harder until it's ridiculous. But it must always be completable. It must always be doable, mustn't it?
Maybe it's doable the first time round, and then by the time you get to New Game plus, that's when it starts getting incredibly tricky. Because I remember it was very unforgiving, wasn't it? You had to be pixel perfect with the jumping.
Yeah, absolutely. As you say, pixel perfect is exactly the right term. But I really love that game, and the control's so perfect as well. When you die, it is your own fault. Which makes it so frustrating. And the fact that when you die, it's instant. You can just restart instantly. That's what turns 30-second levels into hours and hours of fun, stroke, rip your hair out, screaming frustration. I really do like Super Meat Boy. Did you Are you familiar with Mario Maker at all?
I am familiar with it. I never played it.
No, I haven't either. But I was thinking on Mario Maker. I think in editing level games where you share levels online, I think you have to validate them by completing the level yourself before you can share it.
Right.
Which would make sense, wouldn't it? Otherwise, you get flooded in ridiculous levels that can't be done. And I think I saw some news headline that I didn't read. I just glanced over today that said, so after years or something, or after months and months, somebody had finally got this Super Mario level up, which means they'd finally completed it, which means it must be ridiculously hard. And I was just thinking maybe it'd be a nice touch with Super Meat Boy if they added an editor, and that would fit in with the forever, wouldn't it? Because you'd have the community there. But they didn't mention that. I don't know whether they're going to hold that back, but it looked good. And he could kick and punch and duck. I think, could he duck anyway? But I don't think you could kick and punch before. You just jumped about.
Right.
So he's got some extra powers now.
That's really cool. So that was Super Meat Boy. Another one kind of very much in your wheelhouse was Shovel Knight, King of Cards. So this is coming early 2018. It's going to be a prequel, and it tells the story of how the King Knight ascended to the throne. It's going to be 30 new courses, according to today's presentation. 4 new worlds, 30 new courses, and it also features a new mode with card battles.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it? But, I'm sure it'll be good. I love Shovel Knight. Do you want to know something? I've never played Shovel Knight.
Right, okay.
I need to play it.
It screams Daz.
I know.
It literally does.
Weird.
When you fall down the thing, it screams Daz.
I really need to play it, but I don't know. I think I was tempted to get it on PC, and then I just didn't, and then, other stuff come along. So I'd love to play Shovel Knight and find out the story of Shovel King in this prequel. Maybe I should start the prequel and then I can work my way through the others. But yeah, it's pure Daz, this game. I love it. And isn't it great that this Nindy little showcase, this summer showcase, it's sort of them saying, "Hey, the Switch is the home of the indies now, isn't it?"
Yes.
I loved that. And I just think they did it so well. They fitted loads. It's 20 minutes. If this would have been a Microsoft or some a PlayStation conference, it would have probably been about 4 hours.
Absolutely. I love that Nintendo just get in, show you some stuff, and get out. They even had a little bit of padding as well, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
During the conference. I mean, some of the standout ones that we had, Golf Story, that looked very interesting. It almost looked like a Stardew Valley.
But like Stardew Valley, yeah.
On a golf course, so I quite like this.
Combined with golf. I love this idea. It's like leaderboard combined with Stardew Valley. There was loads of them.
Very cool. Do you know if you can play golf? Can you play golf?
What, in real life? Or in the game?
No, in Golf Story. Could you also play golf at the same time?
It looked like it because he was hitting the ball. He was hitting the ball around it. It looked like, it looked like Legend of Zelda adventure game while playing golf. Or maybe Stardew's a better, more accurate. But I just thought that looked really good. Floor Kids. Did you see Floor Kids?
No.
So Floor Kids instantly grabbed my attention because of this sort of like pencil drawn, watercolor filled art style of kids breakdancing.
Oh, yes, I did. Yes, is that what that was called? Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
And it had beats by, I think, Kid Koala, and it just looked fantastic. I really like the rhythm. I like rhythm action games, and I'd never seen a rhythm action breakdancing game before. And it had such a charming art style, really cute characters. Yes. And I just thought, oh, man. And I was just like, right, that's another one. I was like, Golf Story, Super Meat Boy. And Mum Hid My Game, I thought was quite good, but I thought I might get that on iOS. Because I thought, I don't want to pay 15 quid on Switch. I might just get that for 99p or whatever it is on Apple. But yeah, Floor Kids look really good. I'm hoping. It didn't really show you how to play it, though. So I'm reserving judgment a little bit there. But if it's got a good traditional or even innovative rhythm action game mechanic there, I think I'll be sold on Floor Kids. It looks good, and even better if we've got some kind of multiplayer modes.
Yeah. Other announcements: we had SteamWorld 2, SteamWorld Dig 2 is coming on the 21st of September, so that's coming out on there. We also had Yono. Yono was like a really cute little kind of isometric kind of top-down kind of with this really cute elephant, and it looked like a nice little puzzle game. And again, I just love the fact that you've got all of these games that are coming out on the Switch. I could just imagine the train journeys, the holidays, the flights just disappearing to this collection of games.
Yeah.
So I'm just
once we've got this catalogue on your Switch of all these games, like that Yono elephant is just adorable. pushing blocks around. It didn't matter that we've seen it. I think they kind of hinted at it as they said it. They said, we know, platforming games, isometric games, pushing blocks, but when Yono does it, it's cool because it's just such an adorable character. I was like, yeah, you're right. I love this blue elephant.
So that's coming again. That's coming October 12th. Yono is coming October 12th. We had 9 parchments, which I quite like the look of. That was kind of the penultimate game. That looked very cool. But then the kind
of looked like Diablo, that didn't it?
Yes, it really did. It was very cool. There was another one as well. I'm sure it's called Next Up Hero or something like that. And
that looked good. Yeah,
it was it Next Up Hero. Is that the name of the game? I think
Next Up Hero. Yeah,
that's coming to Xbox as well, I believe. But that looks really cool. And then the last big reveal of the show was a brand new game from Pseudo51, which was a kind of a sequel to No More Heroes or continuation of No More Heroes, and it was No More Heroes Travis Strikes Again, and it looked suitably Pseudo51 and looked absolutely superb.
Yeah, that looks amazing. I watched the start of that and I was thinking, oh crikey, could it's Pseudo51, could this be No More Heroes? I was thinking this looks very much in that art style. And then, when he drew his lightsaber out, I was like, yes, it definitely is. And there it is, Travis Strikes Again. And yeah, as you say, a continuation of the story from No More Heroes from the days of the Wii. Mm-hmm. So it's taken a long time to come, but that's going to be a real favourite of many a Nintendo player, because that's just class.
Yeah,
there's not I don't think that he could have worked on a game that would have had a better reception than that. So it's a good reveal.
Yeah, there was a really good, great trailer, and there was one bit where you have the character that you were playing, I'm guessing, Travis, and, you're just then you were punching the screen almost, and as it was breaking, it was just saying, kind of like directed by Pseudo51, and I just thought it was a really clever way of showing off a game, and I just thought it just looked absolutely superb. I can't wait to play it. I'm really looking forward to play it. Made me want to play Borderlands even more now. Where's Borderlands 3? I want Borderlands 3 so bad. But it looked really cool. So a really good showing between kind of a lot of this was really kind of late 2017. We do have some that are coming 2018. But there's a whole stack that is going to be coming, and they didn't even mention Rogue Trooper, which I've been a big fan of, and I can't wait to play, which is supposed to be coming in October. Actually, I think it's coming to October to Xbox, PlayStation 4, and PC, and then will be coming out later on their Switch, so I'll probably be buying it twice. But the noticeable games that were missing from this was Stardew Valley, which I really want to play on the Switch. I want to get Nicola and I playing Stardew Valley on the Switch, and also Yooka-Laylee.
Yeah.
Where's Yooka-Laylee? Where's my backer's code? Platonic, where is my backer's code?
Patience, Antony. You've paid your money. Just wait. You've got your money now. There's no pressure.
Exactly. I got an email the other day from Platonics going, we've released all of the backers gifts and we're all done. And I felt like replying going, I'm still waiting for my Switch code that I upgraded to. I mean, I've got it on Xbox. It's now been patched. They've now kind of done this big patch. I was talking about that a couple of weeks ago. But I thought maybe they would kind of showcase that and just say, out tomorrow or out this week. But no.
I don't know. Maybe the critical reception of the game meant that they didn't want it in the lineup. Maybe.
We've got Tokyo Game Show in a couple of weeks and change. Maybe they're going to have it there. The Yooka-Laylee, Stardew Valley. Maybe kind of save a bit of that for a bit of push at the Tokyo Game Show.
We'll see. Yeah, because it's nice to keep some things back. So that's completely legitimate, and we got like 25 titles to chew over.
It feels bad going, where's my Stardew Valley and Yooka-Laylee? But they're the two games I think Stardew Valley is going to just be perfect on the Switch. That kind of picking up 5 minutes, have a quick play of it before you go to bed. It'll be absolutely perfect.
Yeah, you try and play it for 5 minutes, mate, because it's very, 5 minutes leads to 10 and 10 leads to 20. It's a great game. I love Stardew and I've got it on PC, but it's that same problem that we talked to before. It's like when the PC's in the other room, it's kind of like, it's just It's just not convenient to drag. It's laziness, isn't it? That's what everyone's thinking. You're just lazy, drag it in. But it's just kind of like not convenient. It's never a good time. It's like, I'll just put the Xbox on, I'll just put the PS4 on, I'll just play the Switch instead of dragging that in to play Stardew. So I think the Switch is perfect, and you can play it anywhere. I really like it. And I was thinking that I might get Stardew, but depending on what Golf Story is like, it just made me think that it might be a bit of a rival. So I'm going to keep my eye on Golf Story.
Yeah, but no, I love the idea of Stardew Valley. It's kind of, the closest I'll get to Viva Pinata on a Switch, but without,
it's awesome,
But I can't wait. So that was the Nintendo Nindy event. Like you say, it was a great 22 minutes in, out. Here you go, guys. This is a whole load of games that are coming. We'll stick a link to, or put all of the details of all of the games that were showcased in that event on the pod page, so you can kind of check it out there. So Daz, the final piece of news, sir, is with you.
Yeah, this is just a little bit of a quick roundup, really. Not a quick roundup. Quick fire news items. What have we got? Just a couple of things I noticed I thought I should mention. GTA Online has had an update, and it's added some new modes. So I thought I'd mention them because I've mentioned on the podcast a few weeks ago the GTA 5 had its most successful 3 months in like sort of the last 3 months a few weeks ago. It's like amazing that it's always in the charts. It's just got that momentum. It never seems to go away. And I think we were kind of like, well, how? Why? And if it's been getting updates like this sort of since its inception, this could go some way to explaining why. They've got this update. Part of the update is called Smuggler's Run. And this update's allowing you to get your own private hangar where you're going to team up with a guy called Nervous Ron to fly contraband out of Los Santos. Right?
Nervous Ron. Love
Nervous
it.
Ron. And I watched the trailer. It's really good. Nervous Ron's a bit of a geezer. He's like, I want you to do this for me. But what it comes down to, it looks like, is aerial dogfights as you try and get the contraband out of Los Santos. Aerial dogfights amongst the skyscrapers and over the city. You're going to be using helicopters, fighter jets, and bombers in these smugglers' runs. And you watch the trailer, man, it looks awesome. And it's kind of, I watched that and I'm like, this is kind of a new game on top. I mean, I haven't played much of GTA Online, apart from taking Robin Banks out the other week to just on some initial sort of escapades. I haven't put it back on, but I got this update. It automatically updated for me, so I'm gonna have to go and have a look. Not only to fly the planes, but they've also had another update, which is based, it seems, or inspired by PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. It's called Motor Wars. And in this mode, you up to 4 teams parachute into a periodically shrinking kill box strewn with a lethal assortment of guns, explosives, and weaponized vehicles. Work together, find a vehicle, and fight opposing teams and the shrinking map to survive and win.
Wow!
So there's even a battle royale game
or
in GTA 5.
PUBG.
PUBG. There's a PUBG game in there now.
Wow!
So I kind of thought, oh, that's convenient because I could get I could get PUBG, let's just say it, but that would mean dragging the PC through again. But now I've got this update, and I think this has just been added to the game. So I'm gonna go and have a go on this mode.
Where are you playing Grand Theft Auto?
Sorry,
where are you playing it? Like PlayStation
on
4,
PS4?
Xbox?
Yeah, it's PS4. Yeah.
Oh right.
I thought because PS4, it's got it's as close as you can get to the PC version without being PC.
Right.
And obviously, if I bought it on PC, then, look back 5 seconds to what I was moaning about. So I got it on PlayStation Pro because that's my most powerful system. And as I said when I got it, it looks amazing. But I just got it really just to mess about, just to walk around and enjoy the open world. And it does feel so vibrant that, like you said, like you want a game just for 5 minutes, just to have a little go on something.
Yeah.
That's what I sort of got this for. When I don't know what to play, or I don't want to commit to playing a lot, I can do something aimless and just wander around, and it fits that. And then all of a sudden, this has dropped. So I'm thinking, I just feel lucky. I'm going to have a look at these modes. I really like the idea of having dogfights in the air above the city, and I really like the idea of getting involved in some kind of battle royale multiplayer match as well. I mean, I know I'm going to be rubbish, but I'm gonna go and have a go. Sounds awesome.
That sounds really cool.
They're keeping it fresh, aren't they? And
it's all free.
I'm sure it's free. Hopefully I'll have played it by next week, and then I'll confirm. But I'm sure it's free because I've not seen anybody mention that you have to pay for it. But I'm sure though that within the game you'll be able to buy better planes, buy bigger hangars, buy better vehicles for the PUBG sort of mode and stuff like that. The game thrives on its microtransactions within the game, within the environment. That's how it's so financially successful. So people are buying, I don't know, shirts, or when you load it up, there's loads of adverts like get this car with camouflage aesthetic and all this for only this much. Buy this many shark dollars. I haven't done any of that yet. All I've done is gone and had a race.
Yeah.
It's almost that I don't know if I've got the time to actually find out all that's in there, but it's just massive.
Wow.
It's just massive. On top of the single player, which is also great. So yeah, that's GTA 5. Online has had a massive update with lots of new features. If you've ever been tempted, might be a time to dive in. I think you can pick the game up for about £30, and there's a lot of game in there. If that kind of thing floats your boat, or if, like me, you just want to go find a car, park up at the beach, and have a walk on the sandy shore, watching the sea, come in and maybe sit in the car and play the radio on some old school radio station. I just like that. Watch the moon. Oh man, it's awesome. Anyway. The last thing I've got for you is the Edge magazine have published the 100 Greatest Video Games 2017 edition.
Oh, excellent.
So I don't know how to do this, mate. We'll put the link in.
Don't go through all 100.
No, I'm not going to go through 100. I'm going to go through 90.
You have been known to do a fail countdown.
No, what? Yeah, from 90. What I'll do, I'll give you from 100 to 90. I'll give you the last. The 10, and I'll give you the top 10. So we've got number 100 is Super Hexagon, and then we go to Her Story. It's a good game. Super Monkey Ball, Final Fantasy 12, Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, Hyperlight Drifter, Katamari Damacy, Animal Crossing New Leaf, Resogun, Puzzle Bobble, and F-Zero GX. So that's 100 to 90. And then let's skip, how many would that be? 80. And let's start at number 10. So, Edge's top 10. Best video games ever, 2017 edition. Resident Evil 4 at number 10. Ocarina of Time at number 9. Super Mario Galaxy 2 at 8. Then Tetris. Half-Life 2. Not Half-Life 3. Bloodborne. The Last of Us. GTA 5 at number 3. Dark Souls at number 2. And number 1, probably why they had to update it, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Wow. Awesome.
There you go. So there's some highlights from both ends. We'll put the link in the notes, and you can have a look at the 80 in between at your leisure if you're interested in. Loads of good games, though. It's good. It's good to see some old ones in there, and it's good to see some new ones, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm noticing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Edition is kind of in there at 21. I'm not quite sure about number 29 of greatest games of all time, The Last Guardian.
Oh, I think it's pretty good personally. I was surprised that Shadow of the Colossus wasn't higher than 40.
Right.
And what's the highest ranking Halo? Halo 3 is at 39. And that's my favourite Halo.
Right.
So maybe I concur with Edge. If I've got Halo, I'm just trying to do a find. And if I can type Halo and not Halo. Only Halo's made that list.
Yep.
Only Halo 3. Nidhogg's at 51.
Destiny at 36. Not bad, not bad at all.
Vanquish at 44. I enjoyed Vanquish. That was a cool game. Spelunky at 37, just above your Destiny. So yeah, it's a good list.
That's a good list, good fun list.
Loads of Zeldas as well. Loads of Zeldas.
Wow.
Almost every Zelda. Well, not really, but about 3 or 4 Zeldas in there. So yeah, it's a good list. As I say, we'll pop the link in the show notes and have a look if you like.
Excellent stuff. And I guess that means that there's because when they publish these greatest games, the 100 games, there's normally a magazine to go along with it, isn't it? It's like a standalone magazine for the 100 greatest games. So it's always a good buy because it gives you some in-depth, a bit of a chat about each one of those games. And so it's always a good coffee table magazine to have for a couple of months.
Oh, definitely. It'll be much better than the link that you get from us, which goes to NeoGAF, where someone's meticulously copied them out, probably, in just a text list. So, yeah, definitely. Always worth getting Edge, picking up Edge magazine.
Excellent stuff. Superb. And that's it for the news. It's now time to head over to the VR News Desk. We're not done yet. The VR News Desk for all the latest in VR.
VR Desk.
Yeah, here we are, at the VR news desk, as always. Bit of a busy VR news desk this week. But don't worry, I'll get through it quick, Antony. I know it's the end of the show. I know it's nearly time to go, but come on, just settle down. It's all right. It's all right. I'll whip through it for you. First of all, let's talk about Fallout 4 VR. We know it's coming.
Yes.
Did you know that there's a bit of animosity from the community because it's not going to include any of the DLC?
What? We're such entitled babies. We're getting Fallout 4 in VR. Just be set. You're not going to get through it anyway.
Yeah, well, fair enough. I mean, there's loads of things to do, but there's been a bit of people crying out saying, "I should have the DLC," because it's an old game, and we've had a Game of the Year version already.
Right.
And Bethesda are bringing out Skyrim VR, and that's going to include all the DLC. So there's sort of been people throwing out their toys from the pram about that. Upload VR got to the bottom of the mystery and found out why. Here's an answer. So they spoke to Pete Hines, who's Bethesda's VP of Marketing, and they asked him the question, and he answered. He said that the reason basically is that when they started work on it, they started working on it with the base game. So they started the VR port with the base game that didn't have the DLC in it, and that's why. But with Skyrim, they started working on it with the game of with the Game of the Year version or whatever that had all the DLC in, and that was the version that they used as their base for that. And that it's as simple as that.
Right.
He said that's the reason. He said we had to start somewhere. Presumably development started a long time ago, and so that's what happened. That's the reason. So I thought the reason was okay. To be honest, I don't know about the price for Fallout. It's like I'm not gonna. I think it's sort of full price. I think it's around $39. Well, maybe it's not full price, but $39.99. I think it's $59.99 game.
Right.
Fallout 4 VR version. For someone like me that's already completed Fallout 4. I'm not interested in going and spending all that time again in VR, and I wouldn't pay $60 just for the novelty of exploring the world because it's $60. So I don't know where the audience would be really for it, because most people that are fans would have played it, and it's kind of like, so I don't know where the audience is, and maybe Pete Hines doesn't as well, because when he was asked if there would be any DLC, he basically just straight up he went, I don't know. It'll probably be based on how many people buy the game, won't it? So we'll just see there. So that's the reason why there was no DLC included in Fallout 4 VR when it does come out. But as you say, Antony, you got hundreds of hours you can mess about in there. It's kind of like, are you really going to be in an HMD for all that time to do the whole game and then all the DLC? Unless somebody loves the DLC.
Yes.
They just want one aspect of the DLC, something like that. So that's Fallout 4. And at last, one of the biggest missed opportunities for VR is finally going to be playable. And it is playable. It's not going to be playable. It is playable. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Alien Isolation.
Ooh.
The game that, like, Helen of Troy launched 1,000 ships. I think Alien Isolation, when it was demoed in the early days of VR, got everybody so excited. It sort of sold 1,000, headsets on the promise that everybody kind of thought that was going to be a game. But it was just a tech demo. It was never made into a game.
Wow.
So there was disappointment. There was a petition with 3,000 signatures for Sega to make the game VR compatible. But it was never. Sega didn't do it. Now, what some guys did, the game shipped and it had some hidden files in it, which were the files that they were the VR component. They were hidden in the game. And some guys unpacked those files and they made it work with the dev kit of the Oculus Rift.
Right.
But when the consumer version came out, the architecture was different, so that didn't work anymore. So there was a lot of people really disappointed, because a lot of people, they just thought that the twinning of VR with Alien was just amazing. And I remember that was one of the early things I saw, and I'm reading about reporters that had the VR headset on and they were like hiding as the alien prowled about. The reports were that this was like sort of a defining moment in games. It was amazing. Almost that Alien Isolation was the game built for VR, and it almost missed something about not in the fact that it wasn't a VR game. But anyway, I'm waffling on. But one fan of getting it onto VR took matters into his own hands, and he's managed to make it work.
Wow, that's fantastic.
On VR. It's called the Mother VR mod. It's only at version 0.30 at the moment. But this guy's done it. He's called Zach Fannin. He goes by the alias of Nebra, and he's developed this mod that allows you to play it. Now, at the moment, as I said, it's a really early version. It doesn't allow for room scale play, but it allows you to play it seated with an Xbox controller or a keyboard and mouse. Perfect. But I don't understand keyboard and mouse in a VR headset because I can't touch type.
Yes.
But the fact that it uses an Xbox gamepad is awesome. And I've been looking at the VR forums. The response to this mod, coupled with Alien Isolation, is amazing.
Yeah,
even though it's got bugs, like it's 0.30. It's got a few bugs. It's got this and that. It's got glitches. It's got annoyances. But for the most part, it's sounding like it's really good. People are saying it's amazing. I've had my best time in VR in this game.
Yeah.
Okay. So, even to add to this news, if you're interested in getting this game and the mod's free. The game is like $39.99 on Steam, but at the moment, for the next 6 days, as of recording today on the 30th of August, so we've got like just under a week left, there's a humble bundle, a spooky humble bundle going. You can pick up Alien Isolation along with another few games for $7.62.
Wow.
So if you wanted Alien Isolation, you could pay $7.62. You get Alien Isolation. You also get games Dead Age, Dread Out, Keepers of the Dark, Layers of Fear, and Five Nights at Freddy's, Sister's Location, and Lakeview Cabin Collection. So you get all that. So I've got it.
Right.
I bought it today. I've got Alien Isolation now as part of that package. And the good thing is the money goes to charity as well. So you're donating to charity at the same time. I don't know what I'm going to do with the other 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know what I'm going to do with the other 5 games. I'm not going to like play them. I'm just going to have the codes. Maybe I'll give them away, on Twitter or something. So I've got it. So I'm primed to do it, but I haven't set it up yet.
Wow.
But I read this story, and I just sort of thought, something. I wasn't going to pay £40 or whatever for Alien Isolation to do this, but for like £7. I thought I may as well have a go.
Yeah.
So I've got the game. It was 14 gig. It's downloaded a little bit earlier today.
Right.
So the next stage is I'm going to get the mod. I'm going to have a go. I'll report back next week.
I can't wait to hear what you say about this. This sounds. I mean, have you ever played Alien Isolation?
No. No, have you?
Yes. I mean, just hiding in a locker and seeing an alien to just walk past you is scary enough. Kind of when it's flat and in 2D, but having that in VR is going to. Oh, I can't wait to hear what you think.
Well, you know me, I'm a bit stubborn, and I think as soon as I found out it wasn't in VR, I'd sort of made that how it should have been.
Mm-hmm.
And it sort of made the 2D experience something that I wasn't as interested in, even though I am a great lover of the Alien series. Aliens is my favourite. So yeah, I'm going to try it out. When I read this, I just thought, crikey, I've got to have a go. So I'll let you know. I'll let you know if it's any good. If it's not any good, and yeah, we'll see what happens. It might be that good that you'll just have to come and have a go.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
It's sort of perfect, the perfect fit. It feels like this could be the full game that everybody wanted, that sort of never was. But thanks to the PC community, someone's doing this, fixing it up for everybody. So thank you to Zach Fannin. And if anybody tries this and likes it, if you look him up, you can he's doing this for free, but he's got his PayPal out there. You can give him a few quid, a few dollars, or whatever, a few cents, to fund him on his way to doing this. And to his credit, he said that basically only a couple of years ago, he was one of the guys, like a fan like us, that says, "Oh, I wish they'd do this. I wish they'd do this," and he just decided to try. And he's self-taught. He's done it himself. So I think that's a really nice story. What have we got next? We talked about this way back when, man. Probably only a few months into the podcast, but there was a game called Sea Hero Quest that we talked about. It's a mobile game.
Yes.
And it was designed to help fight the battle against dementia.
Mm-hmm.
And we advise people to get it because it's free to get, and all the data from playing it goes fed back to the servers and is used to try and find a cure, try and fight dementia. which is, who can argue with that, But it turns out that they've brought out a VR version. So, Sea Hero Quest VR is on the Oculus Rift only, as far as I can see at the moment. It might be on Oculus and Android.
Right.
And it's the same game. So you're a captain, you're on a ship. Obviously on VR, you're actually on the ship, man. And you sail around. And what it does is it gets you to sail to a certain point, and then you have to find your way back to that point.
Right.
And then the challenge, and it basically starts quite easy, and then it gets harder and harder and harder. I quite enjoyed the game. It looks nice cartoony look to it. And it's good fun. So this is free. It's the same studio. It's Glitchers, and they are working with the University College of London and the University of East Anglia, and they're funded by Deutsche Telekom as well, and it's backed by Alzheimer's Research UK. The difference is, it's not just sort of bring it out on VR for the sake of it. What they've done with the VR is the way that you game in VR can give them even more detailed information. On the phone versions and the tablet versions, they were just analysing sort of swipes of the screen. But here they get really far more detailed telemetry. Instead of that, it can record accurate body gestures, like head turning and other gestures. And the hope is that will provide extra data on how the memory deteriorates over time. And then hopefully the clever guys at the universities can channel this into some kind of way to fight it.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow.
There's a statistic, I'm just waiting for my tab to load, from the SeaHeroQuest.com website for the VR version of the game. I thought it was quite interesting. And it was a similar message last time with the mobile game. But they say that there's a new case of dementia in the world every 3 seconds, which is tragic. I know many people who will have been touched by this. I know that my family certainly is. There's 3 million people have played Sea Hero Quest up to now, which is great, probably in the last year or so. This is the bit that I thought was interesting. 2 minutes play equals 5 hours of research.
Wow.
By playing Sea Hero Quest for only 2 minutes, you can generate the same amount of data scientists would take 5 hours to collect in lab-based research. And they say that it's already been played for over 80 years in total, generating over 12,000 years worth of dementia research. It's helped to prove that spatial navigation capabilities begin to decline from age 19, and that there are fundamental differences in the spatial navigation strategies between genders. So already the information that they've gleaned from playing the mobile game has given them some good data there.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
So, if you've got a VR set, well, if you've got an Oculus or if you've got one of the Android ones, please just download it and have a go. Play it for 2 minutes, and you can give these scientists 5 hours of research. And it's fun. It's all right. It's enjoyable. You're on the water. It's very uplifting. So there you go.
Yeah, I remember playing the iOS version. It was great. It's good. Let's stick a link in the show notes to that page as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's just good work, that, isn't it? It's really good work. Good people. Now, right up your street, Antony. Pokemon Go with zombies.
Awesome. Zombie Pokemon.
It is. It's The Walking Dead.
Right.
The Walking Dead Go is coming out. We haven't got a date yet, but AMC, the guys that make the Walking Dead series, teamed up with Next Games, that's a developer from Finland, to make The Walking Dead Our World. And it's an AR game.
Right.
It's going to come out, and it's going to allow you to fight alongside your favourite Walking Dead characters. Like, I only know Michonne out of these, but Michonne, Rick and Daryl.
Right.
There's a trailer, and that's all we've got at the moment. There's no release date. It looks pretty good. So you're going around your day-to-day life, and you hold your phone up and that, and there's a zombie in front of you. Let's fight it.
Wow.
Yeah, it sounds good. The thing is, it's not going to scare you, I don't think, because you got it on your phone, and it's kind of like, all right, there's a zombie, let's just tap it to attack it with a gun.
It might be really cool, you're kind of coming home late, you've been out for a few beers after work, you're coming home late on the train, and, you start walking down the road, a dark road, and you whip out your phone for this game because it's just rumbled, and there's a zombie kind of walking towards you. That'd be quite cool.
Yeah, I mean, the trailer shows that they're at the grocery store. and it shows their view through the phone, and there's like just all hell breaking loose with zombies everywhere, and there's knives, chopping them up and like shooting them and stuff. And then I think it sort of turns out that when they put the phones away, there's a queue built up behind them, and they're just waiting to pay for the stuff.
Yeah.
And if it works, it could be quite fun, but I just don't know if it would be scary.
Right.
So we'll see. It's going to be available on Apple and Android, but we have no release date.
Right.
So The Walking Dead Our World, we'll see what happens with it. It's worth a shot, isn't it?
It really is. I mean, it's really interesting because obviously Apple have, there's been rumours, Apple haven't confirmed it yet, but there's been rumours that we're going to get a showcase event on the 12th of September. So a couple of weeks away, we're going to get a showcase for the new iPhone, and hopefully, well, I'm waiting for the new Apple TV that's going to be 4K and HDR enabled. But the new iPhone 8 could have a lot of AR capabilities in it, so maybe this could be a showcase game that's going to.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. I think you cut out a minute. Sorry, go on, mate.
No. I was just going to say I think the iPhone 8 is going to have a lot of AR. Is going to kind of have a lot of AR capabilities. Are going to be touting it. So maybe this is one of the games that they're going to show off at that showcase event.
Yeah, could well be, because there's been plenty of rumours in VR circles about the AR kit, the dev kit that Apple have sent out to numerous developers. And I've not really mentioned anything on here yet because I haven't seen anything sort of phenomenal, and it's all too up in the air, Apple stuff. It's like, well, how long could it be, sort of thing. But often I just see it's like AR kit's done this, and it's kind of like, oh, that's really interesting. So if that's coming up, like you say, if maybe we're getting to actually hearing some release of Apple's AR stuff, that should be really exciting, because these little snippets that I've been seeing around the web has really piqued my interest. So yeah, could be good. It's worth a shot of some of that Pokemon Go success.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's see if it happens. It'll be interesting to see what happens with that. I'll have a go. I'll have a go. I'm sure you will. And finally, KFC employees at last can live through being prisoners of Colonel Sanders.
I thought they were anyway.
They're all saying, we already are. So there's KFC chain have made a VR escape the room experience / training experience for their employees. And in this training experience, it's called The Hard Way, a KFC virtual training escape room, and it teaches employees how to attain chicken mastery and get their chicken mastery certification. And at first it was thought that this was just a gag, just one of those sort of adverts.
Yeah.
But Eurogamer got in touch with KFC, and representatives confirmed that it actually is real.
Wow.
It's not just a video that they've just done as an advert. Excuse me. The representative said, The Hard Way, a KFC virtual training escape room, is designed as an escape room where Colonel Sanders gives his trainees hints and clues along the way to make sure they are making fried chicken the hard way, the way he invented more than 70 years ago. After successfully completing the 5 main steps: inspecting, rinsing, breading and racking, and finally frying, participants exit the kitchen with an understanding of what it takes to cook original recipe chicken like a professional.
So cool. You imagine that's your interview for KFC. You have to go on this VR tour, and if you set the kitchen alight, they're like, yeah, maybe try McDonald's. It's like,
I know. But yeah, it's actually going to be used by trainees for it.
Wow.
They're using the technology. It's part of a program called Chicken Mastery Certification. And they're bringing it to regional general manager trainings, quarterly franchise meetings, and corporate onboarding at the headquarters. So it's going to be played by employees of KFC. Unfortunately, it's not been released out of KFC.
Oh, what a shame! What a shame!
So the only way to get into Colonel Sanders' basement and try and escape
into his escape room
is to infiltrate. It's to infiltrate KFC. You'd have to get a job with them.
Wow.
So there you go. If you want to get the game, it's not $39.99 on Steam. You just have to go and work for KFC and you can have a go. Well worth it.
Just for a day, so you can nick a batch of the gravy and the special sauce and get the hell out of there.
Yeah, maybe it gives you the secret blend of 11 herbs and spices. If you're successful, you could just get that and leg it, and knowing that in future you'll always be able to inspect, rinse bread, rack and fry chicken.
Wow.
There you go.
That's just so cool. Excellent stuff. I have a bonus similar to the PlayStation Network. I have a bonus VR news item that I didn't see in your extensive list this week, and that is that DreamWorks on the 26th of September on the PlayStation exclusive to PlayStation VR, DreamWorks are releasing an episodic Voltron VR Chronicles TV show. So it's going to be episodic. It's about £9, and episode 1, like I say, comes out on the 26th of September. And this is a full VR immersive cinematic experience wrapped around the Voltron universe.
Wow, who's Voltron?
What? What? I'm coming to Brighton just to punch you. You know, Voltron has had 3 seasons now on Netflix. So they kind of they restarted Voltron, obviously way back from when we were a kid. It was the poor man's Transformers. Way back when they've redone Voltron on Netflix, and the series is absolutely fantastic. You know, I was very disappointed because it wasn't in HDR, but it's still very good. I haven't seen season 3
It didn't even warrant HDR.
It didn't. I can't.
Are you as disappointed in that as you are in me not knowing who Voltron is?
Exactly. I can't wait for. There's an animated show that's coming very soon to Netflix, and that's going to be in HDR because I can't wait to see what kind of like hand drawn CGI kind of animation looks like with HDR. But getting, this should be the 4K desk, not the VR desk. But so it's an episodic VR experience. It's called Voltron VR Chronicles. It's been developed by Digital Domain, and like I say, it's episodic, and it's coming to the PlayStation PSVR very soon.
Sounds good. I'll look forward to your report on it. If you can dust off the headset. Well, you probably have dusted it off the rigs anyway, so you'll be all set.
Yeah, exactly. I love the idea of like watching. It was similar to what we were talking about last week. We're watching a movie, but you can kind of look all around and see kind of characters kind of left. And I think this is fantastic. I think I'm going to jump in and check it out, especially because I like Voltron. So I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, excellent. Well, thanks for that. I hadn't seen it. I'm sorry.
It's a bonus PS Plus shaped edition, a morsel, if you will.
Wow, don't say we never give you anything, listeners.
Indeed. So that was me kind of like just going, oh, hello, I'm on the VR news desk. And so that's about it. Big thank you for listening. As always, don't forget, you can keep up with us at gamesoflostspark.com. We'll have all the links that we've been talking about during the show. You can also find us on Facebook, on Twitter, we're at Lost Spark Pod. You can also find us on YouTube, and also the Gamers of Lost Spark PS4 community and the Xbox One Club. Daz, where can we find you online?
Yeah, you can find me as Wythermator on PS4, Xbox One and Switch, Dazza Gamer on YouTube, and at Daz Whittam on Twitter.
Excellent stuff. For me, I am Chessman on Xbox Live and Switch, PS-Chessman on the PlayStation Network, and Chessman UK on Twitter. Don't forget, if you have any feedback or any questions, please send it to our email address. That's feedback@gamersoflostspark.com. Well, that's it. We'll catch up with you guys next week. Bye.
Take care. Bye.